All right, and if anybody is wondering where to get that recording, once it is done, let me copy a link and throw it into the chat here. So I got multiple screens. I got to fix my eyeline here. All right, let me find my chat button. There we go. So there's my YouTube channel. That's where we're going to put the recorded meeting so that you guys can see this afterwards. If I miss anybody and anybody wants to catch up, they'll know what happened in the meeting. So I appreciate everybody joining me. I know it's kind of short notice. I had quite a few registrations today, actually throughout the weekend. I'm glad to be doing this again. In 2021, we did not have these virtual, in 2022, we did not have these virtual networking meetings. We did them in 2020 and 2021. I moved from Portland, Oregon to San Antonio, Texas in 2022. It was quite a transition year as we went through a lot of things, getting our house built and all kinds of stuff, and just I didn't have time to catch up with the free networking meetings that we used to do on an interval that were really fun to do. And I want to come back, and this is something that started in COVID, but now we're back to normal in most respects, and I'm glad to see that Zoom can still be an opportunity for us to meet again. So you're probably wondering, let me talk a little bit about who I am and what we're going to do today here. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Fair. I'm a film festival director, founder of filmfestivalcircuit.com. We're meeting today in an effort to network with others in the film and television industry. Some of you are new to the industry and are attending to gather information and listen in, which is fine. Everyone is welcome. We're running a speed dating type format where attendees can raise their hand and have an opportunity to introduce themselves. I'm blown away. I wasn't expecting 300 people to register today. In the email, I stated that we would have 3 minutes each. We'll try to probably stick it around 2 minutes, because if we had 300 people presenting for 3 minutes each, then we probably would be here for a week. So we don't want to do that. We want to make this exciting and we want it to move along. And this isn't all about me just blah, blah, blah about myself. This is really about you. This is meeting other people in the industry. I just want to say that we do have another virtual event planned for March the 1st, and I'm going to copy and paste there. So just in case you're just here to kind of check things out, pasting that. Just in case you're just here to kind of check things out, get the lay of the land, and don't actually want to talk today, that's okay. March 1st, we'll be talking again. The same format. Our virtual networking meeting is free. It's free for anyone. It's free for anyone with a Zoom account. We don't ask you for your credit card information. We only ask to register, to join up, that you have a valid email address, and we can notify you about future meetings. At our company, we don't spam. We don't throw out a lot of emails like you got. Unless we're inviting you to a meeting or maybe Black Friday or something, we'll send out an opportunity for a sale or something like that. We don't even have a monthly newsletter. We don't abuse email addresses. We don't sell email addresses. We don't trade email addresses, and we protect your privacy. So for those of you that are here, you probably know me from one of my film festival events. We started in 2008 with the Houston Comedy Film Festival. It was my very first one a long time ago. I had no idea that it would spawn a company with 11 different film festival events. And right now those events are in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Atlanta, and Portland, Oregon. So the film festival circuit is like this wide range across the map. You kind of get the central Midwest US, you get a little West Coast with Oregon, you get a little East Coast with Atlanta. And I wanted to make, to give filmmakers an opportunity to present their films in front of a live audience in a theater environment, so that they could get those reactions and meet other people in the industry and actually see their work projected on screen. If you're a screenwriter, we do acknowledge the work that you do. We've had screenwriting, screenplay readings in the past, but right now our screenplay format is simply an awards format and an opportunity to attend our events and introduce yourself to other people in the industry. The virtual networking is one more step ahead. Not everybody can make it. The world has changed in a lot of ways. Obviously, in the past 5 years, our first years of events, we used to have people showing up from out of the country and from 50 states, and it was great. Economies and things have changed a little bit, and of course, COVID and all that good stuff. So people don't always have the opportunity to travel to as many events as they did in the past. So I'm offering the virtual networking as a supplement to try to get to know other people and to know other people from across all of our festivals. Our festivals range. We have the Oregon Documentary Film Festival. We have the Austin After Dark Film Festival. They have nothing to do with each other, but they're still in our network in the way that we approach our judging process. We approach those processes in fairness and try to judge each individual submission and scorecard fairly and in a consistent way. That's why we're this whole film festival circuit and present in a theater. Other than that, if you walked into both of those events, the content on the screen would be very, very different. And for those of you that have been to many of our festivals, you'll know that it really does vary from event to event. So if you are a filmmaker or a screenwriter, we encourage you, or if you're in television making a series or a music video or something like that, we encourage you to check out our events at filmfestivalcircuit.com. If you click on tickets, you'll see our entire event listing. We have many events. We're going to be doing 32 events in 2023 alone, and we have completed 2 of them. One more event that is coming up in Portland, Oregon this Sunday is the Oregon Short Film Festival, which is our largest event in the network. It has all genres of independent film that'll be featured in Oregon. And for some of you, if you are coming to Oregon, I'm letting you know we have snow in the forecast. So I'll be sending out an email to those that are involved in that festival to know, just in case your plans change. So moving on to other things, we're not only offering our free virtual networking event, but some of you know, sorry, getting a little warm here in San Antonio. Some of you know that we also have done premium webinars in the past. We've had guests like William Garcia on. We did an event with the crowdfunding queen. We did a few events in the past that were very, very specific. I call them premium events. That were events that were about 2.5 hours in length and are for a specific audience. They may not necessarily be for everyone. We had one event that was specifically about line producing that we had about 50 people on. We had one that was about film distribution, which, you know, we also had about 50 people on. The crowdfunding one was pretty big. A lot of people wanted to know about donation crowdfunding. And so that one had like 100, and a lot of people participate in that. And so we're bringing that format back. Sometimes, you know, the theaters are very expensive to rent, and to break off time to do just pure seminars sometimes can be very, very expensive. We're trying to, you know, show as many films as we possibly can in a live environment. So we are bringing the premium webinars back, and our very first one is entitled, "Are You Ready to Fund Your First Feature Film?" That is the #1 question that I get at every single film festival. Everyone asks me at these festivals. I shouldn't say everyone, but the most popular question that I get. And by the way, if you're not talking right now, just mute yourself. We'll go one by one and get you on here. But the #1 question we get is like, "Hey, Michael, I've created a short film, and now I want to go on to creating a feature film, and there's a gap there. How do I do this? How do I take on, you know, going and producing something that's 7 or 12 minutes long, sometimes with the ability to use like school gear and things like that, and then moving up to say, okay, I'm going to do an entire feature film, you know, 100 minutes, 120 minutes, and I'm going to put it out there. I'm making that transition. Do you have any advice for my next step?" And for those of you that have been to my festivals, there is one theme among all of our festivals, is that they only feature content that is 30 minutes or less. Television pilots, short films, and music videos. We do not have feature films. We believe in giving as many people the opportunity to screen as possible. Sundance and the Austin Film Festival, all those guys have it covered as far as features are concerned. They do week-long events. Our events are typically compacted into one day, and we show shorts, and that's what we specialize in. Hence, we get the #1 question, because most people that I interact with are people who make short films. And everyone's journey is a little bit different, from going from making shorts to making features. And so I decided to partner with Oliver Mann. And thank you, Oliver, for joining us today.
Always my pleasure.
I'm bringing in Oliver. He's not just a friend, but he's also someone that I consult with. He's somebody that I lean on for business advice. And that is because Oliver Mann has produced, he comes from the short film world. We completed short films, and he'll talk about that in more detail. But he also completed a feature film, and then he's in pre-production for another feature film. And I got this little window where I could get Oliver, you know, who was probably our most popular guest on our networking sessions last year, to join us today before he starts going into the next feature film. And we are going to be doing a webinar on March 4th. It is a premium webinar. The cost is $50. It is a Q&A. It is a presentation and a Q&A with Oliver. It'll be about 2.5 hours long on a Saturday. And I want to turn it over to you, Oliver. talk to us about your journey and just, again, I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to do the webinar coming up on the 4th.
Michael, always my pleasure. So I'll start off with my name. My name is ondemand. I'm a producer, writer, and director. I started off, as Michael said, I started off in the short film world. I directed and produced 3 short films. And then from there, I graduated. I go into development for my first feature film, Such a Funny Life. It was a feat. It was a journey. And I think that's the reason why I'm here, because I've been there, guys. I've really been there. So I know how long it takes. It's dependent on the person, how long it can take to make. And how much effort and how much passion, how much pain, and then of course how much pleasure it is to finish your feature film, especially when you make that leap. So my purpose really to be here is to speak with other filmmakers, to talk about the journey, things that I did correctly, and the things that I did do incorrectly, because it's a tranche of various things. It's very, very multifaceted. And with that same experience, I'm bringing it over to my second film, which is bigger than bigger than Hero Lost Dirt, which is my second film that we will be shooting this year. That's a multi-million-dollar film. Such a Funny Life was under $1 million. So you see the transition. And then my last short film, actually Hero, was, I believe it was 15K. So we make those transitions because our imagination gets bigger, our experience, we just have that transition where we say, you know what, as a filmmaker, I want to move on and I want to challenge myself. That does happen with a lot of filmmakers. So I've been through that step where I challenge myself and say, I want to make something bigger. I want to make something even bigger than this. And that's where I'm at right now. And that's why I really, really want to listen to you all, see where you are. If you want to make that leap from the short film world to the feature film world, I've been there. There's not one specific way to fund your film. There are various ways, and I've explored every single one, I believe. Some worked out for me, some did not, and the ones that did not work out for me could work out for you, and I can perhaps guide you through that and give you my advice. Because as I reflectively look back, I remember, let's say, for instance, crowdfunding, donation-based crowdfunding. If that wasn't successful for me, I reflect back now that I'm more experienced on why it wasn't successful for me. Because that's what I do as an experienced producer, in my opinion. Back at the things that we did incorrectly, and then I correct them. So that's why I'm here. I'm really here to speak to you all and to cheer for you. I'm really here to cheer for you because I've been there. It is a tough journey, but guess what? We all can do it. My slogan is, if I can do it, you can do it. Because literally, if I can do it, you all can do it.
Thank you, Oliver. And I just want to let people know, one of the reasons why I invited him is because recouping your investment is the most difficult thing to do in this industry. And Oliver's done a great job of doing that from the first feature film. Is something that a lot of people can't say, that they can't even get close to recouping what they put in. And I think it's important that you pick his brain. And before I let you go, Oliver, just a couple of topics we're going to discuss: the difference between donation-based crowdfunding and equity crowdfunding. How do I approach investors? How do you know you're even ready to talk to an investor? Do you have the paperwork in place? Do you have a pitch deck? Do you have a budget? Do you have those things? And just knowing certain things about the industry that people have always asked me, and it's like for everyone, it's a little bit different. How do I approach distributors? Can I still get theatrical releases? And Oliver, I know you've been through those things, and you can tell us how you did it. And thank you for coming here, and thank you for joining us on March the 4th. And the one thing I appreciate about you the most is your transparency in these topics. So thank you so much, Oliver, and we look forward to that webinar. Anything you want to add before we go?
Yeah. I just like to say, if you guys are going to join the webinar on March 4th, one thing is I speak with passion. I speak with passion because I started off just going back to my history, and I think you guys can relate. I started off as an extra, as a PA, working on student films, on New York student films. I started off in the electric department, working for a cinematographer, a documentarian cinematographer named Peter Buntain. Amazing guy who really, really taught me. He was kind of like my mentor. So I started off as a film crew member. And then I decided, you know what, I want to direct film. I want to write scripts and direct film. So I started off from that zone and from that area. So I understand the journey. So I'm really here to support you guys, give you any advice, and talk about the pitfalls. And not only that, what you get from the pitfalls, which is only success. That's all we need. That's all we want in this world, is success. And I'm here to support you guys any way I can.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you so much for your time.
All
So
right, guys, take
appreciate it.
care.
All right, hang out as much as you want. I'm going to start moving into some introductions. A couple of basic things, and I see people using the chat. That's outstanding. I see people already here that are already looking. They're content creators. People are looking for sound engineers. It's super basic. Tell us where you're from. Number one, when you arrive, I go to you. Please raise your hand if you want to share. The hand raise icon should be on the bottom row somewhere. I'm the presenter, so my thing may look a little bit different from yours. Be prepared to say who it is or where you're from, who you are, and then are you providing a skill set or are you looking to fill a need? Super easy. Hey, I got a film coming up. We're in post and I'm looking for a composer who really likes to do horror films. Or I've got a shoot that's going to be going on in Washington, near the Washington, D.C. area, and I'm looking for somebody to help with lighting, looking for grip and electric. Whatever you have going on, put it out there. You never know who's in the group. I'm going to turn this meeting over to you. One by one, we're going to go through it. Let's try to keep it in that 2-minute range so we can get everybody in here. Please use the chat. Use the chat, use the chat, use the chat. I will put the recording of this on YouTube and you can continue to post there and post comments. Just remember, it is YouTube and it is public. So I wouldn't recommend putting your email address because spammers will pick it up. But if you want to put in your LinkedIn or your Instagram or something like that, the chat that's in here will not appear on YouTube, but on YouTube, I would rather you provide a social media link than an actual email address just so you don't get spam bombed. All right, here we go. Hands are going up and I am going to I'm going to ask you to unmute and bring you in, introduce yourself. Here we go. Jonathan Williams. Jonathan Williams. You're unmuted, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for that invite.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm Jonathan Williams. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm doing virtual reality, augmented reality, like the whole XR thing. Doing 360 film and animation. I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just letting y'all know who I am. I just got distribution for my first animated film. I'm navigating that. If you have any suggestions, feel free to tap in with me. I haven't got it placed yet. I just got distribution. So yeah, if y'all got any advice, please hit me up. I'll put my stuff in the chat. I ain't gonna waste y'all's time. That's all I got.
All right.
Nice
So when you say you got distribution, did you volunteer for like a self-distribution platform or were you contacted by an outside company?
I have made a point to make good relationships, and somebody hit me up, said they got their film on Tubi, and they were like, I know you have your animated series. If you'd like to, here's who it was Tribeca One Distribution, and yeah, I tapped in with them. They picked it up, and we're trying to get it placed. Fun
All
times.
right, Tribeca One Distribution. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us, and thanks for providing your info in the chat.
Yep. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. All right, we lowered the hand on that, but please hang around as long as you like. The next person we're going to go to is Misha, and let me try. Sundakavitsky. I hope that's okay. Sorry if I butchered your name.
Oh, it's all right. I really appreciate it. My name is Misha Sundakovsky, so that was very, very close.
Sundakovsky, I tried, man. I tried.
Right on. I've been a filmmaker, creator for the last 15 years and mostly working in a bunch of shorts. I worked in television in New York for a little while and have been in the startup space in Silicon Valley for the better part of a decade. And the reason I actually joined today was I wanted to share something with this group, and I hope this is appropriate. Like, please tell me if this is all right. But a partner of mine and I, who he's also on this call, we've been working on a platform to help filmmakers and creatives really of all kind pull references and inspiration faster. Sort of a tool that's kind of a mix between Pinterest and Frame.io for those who have used Frame.io. And we're kind of in this stage right now where we're developing it rapidly. We have like a really strong development partner, and we are looking for, we've had like 50 users or so, but we're looking for more folks who are working in film to see if this actually helps their workflow. So I don't know if it's appropriate to like show the tool or to demo it, but I thought I would bring that up and ask you if that's all right.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be doing a full-on demo, but is there anything you can link us to? Give us your contact information.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's really simple. It's just app.filmboard.io, and I'll leave the link in the chat there. There isn't really a homepage yet because it's really just like we're focusing on building the app and the tool. But basically, the quick gist of it is you can pull stock imagery right from the tool itself. You can embed videos from YouTube and Vimeo. You can add your own files from your computer. You can add websites. You can comment on assets that are in boards and organize the boards in a very clean way without having to design anything. It's just really about pulling references quickly and being able to get whatever is in your mind out on a visual board to share and collaborate with others. And really didn't save all that inspiration, because what I found most is that as work is being created, that piece of like, oh, wait, what did we like think of for that project? That sort of gets lost along the way. So the big 4 words for this is like to ideate, collaborate, present, and archive.
Misha, let me do this. Let me give you my link to set up a personal meeting with me, and we can do an interview on YouTube that would be separate from this. And we can give out that link, and maybe we can spend time, because I don't want to try and pack a presentation into like 60 seconds. And let me give you, and we'll just do a one-on-one interview and flush it out a little bit, whatever you got. And we can share that link in future meetings and posts. Would that be cool?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And like, I think this is such a cool thing that you're doing. So thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, no problem. And let me find you on here. Let's see, Misha.
I'll post the link also in the chat for anyone who wants to check it out. Thank you all for the time.
Yeah, no problem. Look, I'm sending you a direct message right now. Okay. And there you go. It says filmmaker interview. It's the same thing. Just type in there, hey, what your app is and stuff. And I'd like to get with you on that. It sounds awesome. Thank you for your time today. Okay, we're going to go on to Jesse. I think it's Quails. It might be Qualls, but Jesse, how are you? Please unmute and join us.
Yep, you got it right the first time. So my name is Jesse Quails. I'm based in both Lakeland, Florida, and then South Carolina areas. And I've been working with animation, motion graphics, writing, and editing. And so basically I'm here today to both offer my services with animation, motion graphics, and then also ask around for any investors or anyone that's interested to let them know that this marketing firm I worked with, we developed and produced a pilot episode for an animated series and wrote out the next 2 episodes and have been trying to work on them. But for now, we posted the pilot online to the YouTube page, and then we're just like letting it sit to see what happens. So that's basically why I'm here, to offer my services as an animator, and then also mention that I have an animated pilot to hopefully gain interest of anyone that's interested to like picking it up potentially.
All right. I'm looking at the chat. Did you throw a link?
I've not done that yet, but I will be doing that in a moment. I just wanted to like bring that up first.
Sometimes when people say animator, it's a broad word. Is there any
so
what kind of, do you have a style, or what do you do?
So with my animation, it's I mostly specialize in 2D hand-drawn animation, so both traditional and then 2D digital over the past like 4 years now, and then also motion graphics, so animated logos, short video advertisements for the 2 different internships I've worked for, and then as well as a little bit of 3D modeling. So I have my hands on like different mediums, but mostly 2D and motion graphics.
All right. Well, thank you for checking in. Please put your contact info in the chat, and anyone looking for animation, check them out. Thank you for your time. All right, going off next. Let's see, we still got people joining. This is awesome. We're going to go to Patrick Healy. Hey, Patrick, can you unmute, please?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
My name's Parker, and I am a editor and
I'm
colorist
sorry, I
based
said
in
Patrick.
Chicago.
I apologize.
Oh no,
I
you're
apologize.
good.
Parker, how are you?
All the time. I'm good. Yeah, I'm an editor and colorist based out of Chicago. I work for an ad agency, and I do I edit and color all of our commercials. I'm one of the editors here. But I also do freelance on the side as well. I recently completed a short film. I recently edited a short film and colored a short film that will be going on to film festivals sometime this year. And yeah, I'm always just kind of looking for freelance gigs to do on the side. So if you're looking for an editor or a colorist for your film or any of your projects, I'll link my LinkedIn profile below, and it will have my my website and previous work experience and my portfolio. So feel free to check it out. And yeah, if you're looking for an editor or colorist, please feel free to reach out. I will drop my info right now.
All right, Parker,
and
I
thank you.
appreciate that. I was talking over you earlier. Where are you based? Where are you from?
Chicago,
Chicago. All right.
Coast.
So Chicago
Yeah.
editor and post.
the great
Awesome.
Midwest.
My man. Thank you for joining me, Parker.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right. We're going to go on to Christos. Sorry, I'm meeting some people in here. Christos, still with us?
Yes, can you hear me on that end?
I can hear you. What's up?
Hi, how you guys doing? I'm not sure how this, I haven't used Zoom that often. I'm not sure if I'm being shown or anything.
You are. When you talk, you're being shown, and I can see you're cool. Is that like an Avid keyboard back there? That's dope.
Oh, no. The After Effects keyboard, and then
Okay.
it's just like a regular typing keyboard. And yes, like everybody, I position my camera to show off my editing system. Anyway, quick question about me. My name's full name's Christos, but Chris is just easier to pronounce because it's much easier for people to read. Anyway, I'm from Seattle, Washington. I come from a special effects background. Originally, about like a decade ago, I did low budget makeup effects for a bunch of, let's say, questionable movies for the Sci-Fi Channel, and I won't say what they were. But I had a friend who recommended me for a job for this company called Quantum Creations. And then I ended up working on Tron Legacy as like my first big feature picture.
Wow.
And just basically building the costumes and weapons. And then while I was working on it, somebody says, well, by the way, the visual effects department, we got this much money. And when I heard how much money you can make from visual effects, I switched over into the visual effects department. And because the cost of living was too expensive in Los Angeles, I just moved up north here to Seattle. And while I was up here in Seattle, every time someone would call me up, I was thinking I was getting a job for special effects, I'd say, can you direct the shorts and TV commercials and stuff? I was like, oh, I guess I should give that a shot. So I accidentally became a film director by accident. And I do mostly commercials, music videos, and also motion graphics is like a side business I have. I do my visual effects knowledge is mostly compositing. I can't do complex 3D animations yet because I don't really have the technical horsepower to do that at the moment. And other than that, I worked with a film composer that I was shocked that lived in the same neighborhood as me. His name's Ron Jones, and that name sounds vaguely familiar. He used to work with Seth MacFarlane, all his animations. And he used to do all the music for Star Trek The Next Generation before he left around like the second or third season.
Wow.
So
Great
he's a
connection.
fellow, he's a fellow I work with a lot. And he was the one that says, hey, you know that music video you made using one of my songs? Submit it to a film festival. I said, okay. So I did. And that thing has been perpetually like getting accepted to film festivals and winning awards for the past 2.5 years. And so if anybody's interested, I mainly do editing. And if you guys want to collaborate with me, I have my own little media company called Signal and Noise. Problem is, it's spelled a very weirdly specific way. So I'm going to put the link to that in the chat. Make it easy for you.
All right. And there's someone in here who, in the chat, who stated, Joseph Metcalf said, Ron was one of my mentors. I worked with him on Star Trek.
Oh, cool.
So who would have known that this group would be connecting people who knew each other? Dude, Star Trek, and that's awesome. I know that's not your credit, but to know him, that's awesome. But Tron Legacy is a huge credit. That's serious.
Yeah, the problem with that is I was a non-unionized makeup person. But the irony is the vast majority of makeup effects done in LA is done with non-union shops. So when you see a movie like that, you'll see all the union guys listed, but then the non-union guys technically aren't allowed to get a credit. But thanks to IMDb, I'm allowed to put like an uncredited part on there.
Oh, okay.
So,
good for you. Still,
but it was a really cool. I don't want to take time away from other people. It was just a really cool assignment because we just did a lot of experimental stuff making those the most expensive thing on that movie was the costumes. Like one of the suits alone for each actor was close to the $200,000 range. That was based on all the circuitry and all that stuff. I don't want to go into that because it's needlessly complicated, but I'll just pass on to the next person.
all right. Well, if anyone wants to learn more, they will reach out to you. Thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure, Chris. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I believe it's Milani Wenska. Please correct me though, Milani, if I didn't get your name right.
Sure, it's actually Melani Wenska.
Milani. Hi, Milani. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Yeah, if anyone has trouble pronouncing my name, it's okay to just say May.
Okay.
A lot of my friends call me that. I am based in Los Angeles, and I am an actor, a director, filmmaker, and a screenwriter. I have worked as first AD and script supervisor on features, and I have been COVID compliant officer, director, and PA on crews. I have made 5 shorts. The last 2 big have been in 21 film festivals. They've won 16 awards. I am also attached to co-direct and star in a feature that I am helping develop. And I am staffed on a dramatic podcast to write 2 episodes. And last year I was in the Native American Media Alliance's Writer Seminar and their TV lab. And I also worked for the Hollywood Reporter at their booth at the American Film Market.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a fun experience, and I made some nice connections. I also highly recommend going to AFM because everybody you meet there will be a director or a producer, and it's pretty awesome.
Excellent. So what's your main thing today? Are you looking to market your services to other productions, or are you actually putting something together you need help with?
Kind of both. Probably later in the year, we will be crewing up for our feature, but I think we'll be mostly, if anyone's in Washington State, we'll probably be shooting in Washington. So,
You don't say.
Yeah, so if anybody, you're welcome to reach out to me about that, but it'll be later. We're still in development. And I'm also offering my services as crew, and also I do post-production. I've also been hired to do editing and color correction before, and I've also designed movie posters too. I was a graphics designer for about 8 years.
Wow. Well, if there's any contact information, samples of your work, anything you'd share in the chat, I sincerely appreciate you joining us today. It sounds like you have a Swiss Army knife skill set there, and you've been involved in a lot of things.
I've kind of done it all. I've done just about every part of production, and yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you. Well, I appreciate your time. We're going to move on to Miles. Hello, Miles. If you don't mind unmuting, how are you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Miles Hunt. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm from Ridgewood, Queens, but I'm originally born and raised in Buffalo, New York. I am a writer and visual artist, somewhere right there. Wow. And I used to be an intern with the Jim Henson Company, where I took part in building, designing, and occasionally performing Jim Henson's Muppets. And then I was a professional puppeteer with the Walt Disney Company. And since then, I have understood and appreciated the beauty of animation, kind of bridging that gap from the Muppet world to, more exaggerated opportunities. So I'm developing an animated series centered around a deaf drummer. I'm hard of hearing, by the way. Got my hearing aids right here, AirPods on today. And so I'm developing an animated series around a deaf drummer and his ragtag group of pals. And I'm currently pitching it across anywhere and everywhere, and trying to get distribution, investors. I would love to collaborate with more writers and other artists to broaden the storylines. I want to include diversity, inclusion, acceptance, empathy, kind of, with the musical guys in between. And just past fall, I took part in the Respectability Children's Content Lab, which allowed creatives across the country who are disabled, a part of the disabled community or have a connection to it, to come to New York City, meet with the studios, and then also collaborate at our own projects, and then present it to a live audience here in Manhattan. It was wonderful. The current lab is up for applications right now for anyone who wants to apply. But yeah, I would love to work with anyone who would love to write. I would also love to create a brand new thing with anybody. I work mainly in children's content. I'm young adult. I'm kind of open to everything, but I would love to just connect and chat and see what we create. Thank you.
All right, can you link that lab you were talking about? That sounds really interesting.
Definitely, I will.
Yeah, thank you for taking the opportunity to join us, and please leave us your contact info. Anybody up in New York that can possibly collaborate. Thank you for your time. All right, we're going to go on to Brian DeMarco. Hello, Brian. I believe you have to unmute yourself, Brian. Let's see, did Brian disappear?
Got it. Here I am.
There he is.
I lost my video for a sec. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm from upstate New York, and I actually just kind of I have a master's in creative writing, and I've just kind of bounced around all the kind of writing jobs, copywriting, online tutorials, that kind of stuff. And so I just really want to get into a writer's room to work on making cartoons. I've always been a fan. I grew up with Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny and those guys, Merry Melodies, that kind of stuff. I think they're classic. And right now I like stuff like American Dad, and I like the Adult Swim kind of really kind of left field kind of comedy and stuff. So anyway, this led me to writing and producing, directing my own little web series. And I do this weird little kind of I like to think of it as the R-rated Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. So it's little puppets, and there's heavy metal music and these theme songs and credits and stuff. And I'm just lucky to have some friends in radio who have much better voices than mine to do all these cool little voices. So I guess I don't really have a lot to pitch right now, but I was just kind of looking for a little advice for the film festival circuit, because there's so many of them. It's kind of daunting a little bit. And all of a sudden you're oh, this one's a bit there's small ones that have similar names to big ones sometimes, and you kind of get a little tripped up on that.
Yep.
And so we're just kind of looking for a little advice on as far as what are good places for a short kind of comedy series. And also, why do a lot of film festivals seem to not like series?
Okay, yeah, multiple questions. I'll jump in there and answer those real quick for you. I'll give you the best answer I can.
Okay.
Be in the industry for the past 15 years at least. I recommend to people as a film festival director, but I was a filmmaker first, okay? And I recommend that if you're going to choose a film festival, you choose something local and support something local always. You said you're in upstate New York. Anything you could drive to and back in a day, I would consider local if you can make it home that night. When I was choosing film festivals, money was hard to come by. I was a freelance audio engineer. And I would start choosing festivals outside of my local circle, mainly to ones where I had a connection. So my brother lived in Boston, or my roommate from college lived in South Carolina, or whatever. And those are the ones that I would apply to. Bumping up a little further, you say, okay, what's going to be a nice travel experience that's going to specialize in what it is that I'm doing? It is important to look at the past history of a festival. We have series categories at our festivals. A micro category is 6 minutes or less if it's a teeny tiny series or just a little episode to show. We also have a 30 minutes or less, kind of a TV pilot. One thing I would recommend is don't try to submit your whole 45, 48-minute series in one submission and try to push it through the festival and screen this huge chunk. Usually with a series, you kind of have your episode to get people hooked, and then you want to lead some kind of a call to action to get back and find your series where it's published, whether it be online or for free, like YouTube or on Amazon or something, you kind of use one episode, or maybe, you know, an episode, another episode, maybe behind the scenes or concept or something to kind of attract people. You always want to enter a realm to attract people so that you can interact with them in the future. So if someone is looking for you, let's flip it around. Let's say a distributor Googles you and they say, there was this Brian DeMarco guy, and they come up with episode 1 of your series and it's got 100,000 hits on YouTube. That's something I can work with.
Right.
Okay. They Google you and they don't find anything except for, you know, Michael Fair posted about you at Austin Comedy Film Festivals. That's the only thing out there, and they can't find any marketing or just anything that would say, hey, this has wheels. That's an uphill battle. Not saying it's impossible. It's an uphill battle.
I get it.
I suggest that when you look at festivals, you look at the reviews. And that way you can see a long history with dates of people posting. I was looking at Austin Comedy Film Festival, which is one of ours. I'm very proud of it. We've been doing Austin Comedy Film Festival multiple times per year for many, many years. I can't find a single film festival on Film Freeway with as many positive reviews as Austin Comedy Film Festival. It gives you history, it gives you a look, it gives you a snapshot. Now, Georgia Comedy Film Festival is brand new. We haven't been around that long. It's only got 23 reviews. So how do you know that's a good festival? You know, it's in our market, it's in our network. It's established in 2022. The other one's established in 2015. You have to make your marketing decisions there. You want to submit as early as possible, or make sure that you apply for any discounts when submitting so that you can submit to as many film festivals as you possibly can for the lowest amount of money that you possibly can. So does that answer your questions a little bit?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much, because it is a little daunting, and yeah, they do kind of add up in price. And like sometimes I think, well, if I pay more, maybe it's like more worth it to get into that specific film festival. But yeah, that's a great help. Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, Brian, I think I could help you on that little aspect of it.
Okay.
Because I had the same issue before where I just picked random ass film festivals and it kind of didn't do anything. And so the trick is, when you're in this situation, is aim for a little bit smaller festivals that are relatively new, because that's what I did for the first couple of festivals. And then I decided to branch out in New York. And there's one particular New York festival. If you send me your email, I'll send you the name of the festival later.
Sure.
But this one particular festival, I submitted my film. I got like an honorable mention, stuff like that. And for the past couple of years, I've got random people in Germany, Japan, Catalonia, just like random places say, oh, I was at this one particular festival in New York and it's the same festival. We really liked it. We're going to give you a percentage discount, and we can guarantee a spot for whatever category you want for our festival. So it does happen.
Okay.
It's just, I always say, for if you're not very established yet, aim for the smaller festivals. And that way you can build up a profile on through Film Freeway, and then more people just start noticing you more.
Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I've got all the stuff Film Freeway. I definitely got a little overzealous, and I made all the merch and stuff. And then it's like, oh, right, I got to build a following first before I do.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll send you my email. I appreciate that a lot.
No problem. All right. Thank you, Brian, for your time. Good luck on the film festival circuit. You can always email me. Obviously, you have my email if you made it here today. I answer every email, even the spammers. I answer everybody. So drop me an email. I'm glad to expand on any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going on to Gary Davies. Hey, Gary, how are you?
Good. How you going?
Good to see you.
New Zealand.
I'm excited to be doing this again, man. I love talking to filmmakers, and sometimes at the events it can get a little bit rushed, and I like having this opportunity to really, get to meet people.
Sorry, yeah, it's great to see you in person and to be able to talk to you. Sorry, my video's playing up a bit. Apologies for that.
It's okay. You can
all right?
disable the camera if you'd like. I can still.
Well, I might have to. Is it frozen up at the moment?
It's just glitchy a little bit. Why don't you go ahead and mute the video and we'll listen. Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay, it's a shame. I'd like to be seen, but anyway, kia ora from New Zealand. My name's Gary. I'm an award-winning writer-director. I'm a horror filmmaker, and I've been at it for a couple of decades now. And I've made a lot of short films. I made a no-budget feature a long time ago, which was very successful, actually, considering it had no budget. And my most recent film has done very well on festival circuit. It was at the Austin After Dark Festival.
Yes.
Yes, you remember? Yeah, which was great.
Of
a couple
course,
years ago. I wish I could have attended.
Man, I wish we had great. a New Zealand flight fund or something, because we we get great films from New Zealand. Good job.
Right. Yeah. I wish I could have traveled with the film. I hope to be able to do that with future projects. You know, man, I only got to go to a couple of New Zealand festivals with the film, and that was great. It was really cool. So it was nice to have the film traveling and doing well. And yeah, and I've been writing for a long time. I've had development funding here from the Film Commission, and I've worked with a couple of production companies. I had previous LA rep for one project, which unfortunately never really ended up going anywhere, but we did some good development work. And I just have a large slate of features now, all horror and all high concept, and all, in my opinion, of course, kick ass, and just looking to really mainly to connect with producers and managers. I'm always reaching out to as well, but of course, they're happy to connect with anyone who's interested in the genre, because you just got to keep networking and keep reaching out, and that's me. So yeah, hoping to get films made here, but for the world. We tend to make very insular kind of films here in New Zealand.
Mhm.
My goal is to make films for world audiences. But yeah, I'd happily travel and make films anywhere, really. So just open to connecting with people and talking shop.
All right, the horror genre. Let's get some things. Let's get some networking going there. Please throw your information in the chat. I'd love to see the trailer to that horror film you mentioned. That sounds cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'll chuck some stuff in the chat. Cheers.
Thanks, Gary. All right, my man, Gary joining us. Very good stuff. We're gonna go to CJ. Hey, CJ.
Hi there. Can
How are
hear me?
you? Yes.
I'm
How are you
good.
doing?
How are you?
Good.
From the sunny California, LA.
All right. Yeah, it looks beautiful out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I came here for a reason, right? So, yeah, I'm CJ Stussy. I'm an entertainment attorney, and God, I've worked in the business for like 100 years, it's like as a kid.
That's
I got
impossible. You
into
look
it.
so young. There's no way you worked
Oh
in the
my
industry that
God,
long.
like I did like probably like every position like May you can do. But I loved it, and that helped me to understand it. So I started in Germany, then Switzerland, and I came to LA because Switzerland is so petite, right? There's nothing there. And we're neutral. So yeah, I mostly represent producers, directors, and writers. Any kind of contracts needed. Yeah, I don't do litigation, but I can always refer people. And it's really interesting to see what all you guys are doing, because people always ask me if I know somebody who does this and that. And usually I only refer people that I have worked with that I can kind of vet for, but I'm sure I can throw in one or the other name here. And I will just disclose that I have no experience with you, so it's really good to be here. Thank you.
Good. We don't always get entertainment attorneys, so it's good. And everyone who's here. So the thing is, in the industry, when you don't have a lot of money, you nudge your friends and you're like, can I get an agreement? You have a boilerplate agreement. You have, I need a music licensing agreement, or I need a work for hire agreement, or I need to hire an actor or something, or I'm trying to promise this actor that's a deferred payment. We'll pay him later, but not now. You get all these questions, and people start passing around, and you end up with this like Frankenstein agreement, that has been compiled from someone in Florida and some other contract and other things. Can you just give me your background on why that can be a little bit of a pitfall, and why someone should reach out to an entertainment attorney first if they're trying to put together contracts?
I am so glad you asked that. I just had yesterday, I had a client, she did exactly what you did. She had a boilerplate like writer's agreement. And you have a chain of title in a movie, meaning like the rights, the copyrights, they have to be clean. And of course, that starts with the writing. And if you have a problem there already, it's just going to get worse. And it was a boilerplate writer agreement. There was no way of injunctive relief. And of course, there's a disagreement now with one of the writers about how much is paid and what the services would include, because in the agreement, it only said writer services. It didn't specify what. And she cannot use any of it. She spent $10,000, not on the contract, and on the writer, and she cannot use any of his work. And she has to send him a settlement payment for him to kind of like make sure that he's not going to sue her. Because since there's no way of injunctive relief, he can stop the production of her movie, the distribution, anything if he files suit, as long as the suit is pending. And so I think what I'm trying to say is this, you know, there's contracts where you can make mistakes. It's not, you know, you pay a little bit more, but it's not so important. But whenever it comes to the chain of title, like writer agreement is super important. Like it's one of the most important. And there it's just, yes, you pay an attorney, you're out of like, let's say 1,500, but that is worth it because that needs to be in place properly. Just and then there are other agreements where, okay, if you make a mistake, not such a big deal, you might just be out of a lot, you know, some money, but nobody can really harm your film. Okay. But I'm actually, because I get that a lot, people come to me after the fact, and then I'm like, I wish just would have come to me in the first place, you know, and we could have avoided all of that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, is there any way I'd like to reach out to you? I do get a lot of questions for referrals, or somebody asking some questions. Maybe they're a little bit more accounting focused about LLCs and insurance and things like that, but somebody was asking some things in the chat. But I'd love to interview you, maybe just about some general concepts. Obviously, I don't want you to get in trouble with, you know, giving out legal advice, but maybe just some general checklists and things that maybe filmmakers should look at making sure that they have ready before they start shooting or something like that. I don't know. Would you be willing, open to it?
Yeah. That would be, I love to help, you know, I've worked as a creative too, so I love to inspire, and I think it's so cool when people go out and go on this crazy journey of creating content, which is so difficult. And so yeah, absolutely, I shoot you my contact information.
Good stuff. I sent you also a booking link of mine. You have my email. Reach out anytime. But I would love to feature you, or at least just that most basic advice that filmmakers in general, you know, before they set off the bomb of creating a movie, that they have some contracts in order, and I'm sure we'll get you some client referrals too.
Another one there is the registration with the WGA, and I always like, no, you need to register with the United States Copyright Office. And I just don't understand why nobody says that. You don't get any statutory damages if you register with the WGA. None, zero, nothing. And so, yeah, but I love that. Yes, I'll do that.
All right. Well, we'll fight back against the misinformation together. Thank you, CJ. Yes. Thank you. All right. I love this. You never know who you're going to meet. And right now we're going to meet up with Peter Clancy. Hello, Peter.
Hey, everyone. So yeah, my name is Peter Clancy. I am based in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. And basically what I do is I make comedic sketches and short films. And also professionally, I do corporate videography, videos for small businesses. So creative and corporate across the board. In terms of the creative, I'm working on a very goofy project right now, which is a mockumentary for a Korean pop band, all fictitious. So we're writing original music in Korean, and there's a hell of a lot of wigs. So my plate has been pretty full. And actually the precursor of which is a music video that's going to feature at the Austin Comedy Festival. So I hope to see some of you there. But basically, I am just here to offer my services as a director or cinematographer to those of you in the Chicagoland or anywhere else. So thank you guys for your time.
How did you get so good at speaking Korean? That video is hilarious, man.
Yeah, Google Translate. I put a disclaimer at the beginning, so hopefully that absolves me from any incorrect speech. So
there you go. All right. So I won't tell everybody you spent 10 years in Korea learning the language. K-pop is awesome, man. You want to talk about a high production, like, I mean, those videos, they spent money. I love Korean food, and whenever I go to Korean places, they always have like these, you know, either the K-pop or the K-drama channels in the background.
Oh yeah.
And I look up and I'm like, how much money did they just spend? It's awesome.
Well, I have some friends who are just obsessed with it, and I'm like, there's no way it's good. And I watched it, I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah, especially K-drama. You get hooked. Anyway, Hey, thank you. We're looking forward to seeing you at Austin Comedy Film Festival. I will just go ahead and say right now, there is nothing like your music video screening at that festival. So good job there.
Happy to hear it.
All right, my man. Next up, we're going to Carolyn Bacon. Hello, Carolyn.
Hi everyone. Would love to give you a shout out. My debut short film is screening this weekend at the Oregon Short Film Festival, which is the town where I'm from. So it is totally my pleasure to come down there, and I really can't wait. So thank you. It's nice to like be zooming with you.
Thank you. You know, we're excited. Again, it's our largest event in our entire network. Oregon Short Film Festival is a lot of fun. We're expecting some snow, so I'm just giving you that heads up.
We haven't had any snow in New York this year. Actually, it's very strange. That's where I'm based. So, anyway, so I'm from Portland, Oregon originally. I'm now based in New York City. I am an actor. My first degree was actually in neuroscience. I was a pre-med student, ended up going back to school for singing, and now have made my way all the way like through musical theater to the acting side as well. I do TV and film here. I wrote my first short as real footage for my acting reel, and with the help of mentors, it has gotten this far to screening. So I'm very proud of it, and I'm specifically interested with my science background in representing women in science. I like to say that I was going to be a doctor, and now I just want to be a doctor on TV. So that's a little that's a little about me. My next project, I guess I just came here to like give a shout out to you and to anybody else who's going to be at the Oregon Short Film Festival this weekend. And also my next project that I am writing is it's a pipe dream project. It's a TV pilot, medical procedural, and I say it's a pipe dream because a helicopter is very important for this show that I'm writing, inspired by my mom and some of the work that she did in the 70s. So if anyone wants to collaborate in New York City, let me know. And if anyone has any experience working on a medical procedural or doing something where like equipment like that is really a big part of it, I'm like brand new to the world of dreaming up these ideas and figuring out how to sell them or figure out how to get people to produce them. So I'll just drop that into the chat.
All right, medical. That's very specific, your interest level there. When you said helicopter, I couldn't help think about that famous scene from ER. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where the helicopter fell on the doctor everyone hated in the show. But very cool. So So are you doing a lot of casting calls in New York City? Are you acting mainly or?
'Tis the season. Yeah. So I was on the Broadway national tour of Cats, the musical last year, if that's
wow,
so
no, that's serious.
I got my foot planted in musical theater, but particularly because of the types of stories that women get to tell in musical theater, it's a much more limited box. And in TV and film now, we're seeing like a lot of really interesting stories, a lot more female creative teams, a lot more female writers than we have in traditional musical theater. So I felt like I was just really called to that space and really interested in the content. And New York is kind of a place where you can have your foot in theater and in TV. There's a lot of cross-pollination there as an actor. So
all right.
Yeah, that's me. Thanks
all right, a lot
I
of
really
New York
appreciate
today. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time and look forward to seeing you at the festival. It should be fun.
All right, thanks so much.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to Tammy Thomas. Hello, Tammy.
Hello, Michael. I am here from Atlanta, Georgia. I always get the invite and I'm never able to make it. So this was the first time. It always clashes with my work schedule. So this is the first time I'm able to make it.
Sure.
I really wanted to meet you because I remember back in 2015, I made my first feature, Paradise House, and I had submitted it to Houston Comedy Festival. Didn't get in, but I know guys who got in. Jericho, the writers.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm good friends with Anthony.
Okay.
And Brandon. So anyway, so that was very interesting. And I've done 2 features and 4 short films. The latest feature is another period piece based in the 70s called The Rings That Bind Us. And so that is out now. We found distribution for that, so happy about that. My company is Edwimasi Films. That's not going to be something that I know it's an acronym for every day, every week, every month, every season, every year we make films. So
I like that.
thank you. So that is what I'm up to now. And what we're really needing is to, I think for the entertainment attorney that was on just a second ago,
yes,
that was perfect timing because with the distribution, this is a new company that we're collaborating with. So we kind of just trying to see exactly what the contract means. It was a lot of fancy vernacular that
Ooh.
I knew. Yeah, so we really need it broken down to where we will benefit from this first. So because I am a big believer in benefiting from your labor first, and then or you guys benefiting from it together with the distribution company, because you put so much of your time, effort, and of course money into it. We made it for under $1 million. So, you know, that's really mostly what I'm looking for. And, you know, to get to know people.
So I don't want to get in the weeds here, but just to clarify, you've been offered some kind of an agreement that you want to have reviewed. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, I do need advice on exactly what it means. It doesn't look shady or anything. I just want to make sure that we are getting what we ask for, because they came with an offer and we countered, and then they accepted that counter, but I'm still I'm still not quite clear on exactly what that means our part will be. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think CJ's still here. Me personally, when it comes to any legalese, I always consult an attorney. I have a bookkeeper, I have an accountant. There's just certain things I let the experts do. And I think you're in the right frame of mind. Very nice to meet you and Brandon and his wife. That was a fun film to work on long ago. And I tell you what, keep making movies. It sounds like you generate a lot of content. Very exciting to meet you. We have festivals in Georgia now as well. I plan to be at Atlanta After Dark and Georgia Comedy Film Festival in April. So please drop me an email. And if you have time to meet, I'd love to meet, get you tickets for the festival, have you out there.
Fantastic.
And just to pick your brain on what you're working on and just, you know, the goings on in the Atlanta market. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Michael.
Have a good one and good luck on that. Hope you can connect with CJ and maybe she can give you some advice.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. All right. Going on to Cornelia Haynes. Cornelia, hello.
Hi, good to see you again, Michael.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course. It's so nice to meet everyone and hear about what everyone's doing in the business. My name is Cornelia Haynes. I am a writer, filmmaker, actor. I'm based in Los Angeles, but I'm originally from Stockholm, Sweden. And Peter, I also love wigs and sketches. So I thought that was hilarious that you said that. Our award-winning comedic short, Anaconda, screened at Houston in the fall of 2022. That was so much fun. And we're also going to Portland and Austin. So we're super excited to screen with you again, Michael.
Yay.
And yeah, I guess now at this point where we've gotten some success for our comedic short and we're still doing the film festival circuit, I'm wondering if anyone has any experience with getting press for the festivals or the success that you've had and just how to go about that and when it comes to press and news. And then I'm also now looking for future collaborators when it comes to producing partners. And I love comedy, I love sketches. So anyone who would like to collaborate when it comes to a comedic sense, probably shorts is what I'm thinking for the next one. Yeah, and I'm just gonna send the trailer in our Instagram here in the chat if anyone would like to chat.
All right. Well, Cornelia, I'd just like to say, Anaconda, we have put in front of many, many different groups of judges, people who do not know each other at all. Portland, Houston, Austin, very, very separate groups of people. I've only seen 9s and 10s on scorecards for your film from everybody that I show it to. It's awesome. That's really, really good. I'm not just saying that's really good. You're winning awards. You're nominated for a reason. That's very, very well executed. And although I don't know anyone, and hopefully there's someone in here who can kind of do a national PR campaign, I do know that we can help out with Austin. Let's set up an interview. I'm sending out interview requests for people. Let's set up an interview for you and any other cast member. I mean, you've kind of been the face of the film every time I've seen it, but anyone else that you'd like to be involved, let's try and set up an interview to give you some press and some publicity. We'll make a reel and shoot it out on Instagram and give you an interview on YouTube and those type of things. And Austin Comedy Film Festival this year is going to be packed. It's going to be a huge crowd, and you should get plenty of people to notice your work there. So we appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and thank you so much for saying that. It's exciting to see all the, when you've done all the work and actually put it out there in the world. And so thank you so much for saying that and being such a supportive. I know some people were asking about film festival circuits, and I mean, sure. Michael, all of your festivals are so supportive and great. And just the fact that you're doing this is awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you in Austin. That's going to be great. So sure. Have a good one. And if anyone here has any PR campaign ideas, please pass them on to Cornelia. We'll see you around. All right. Going on next, we're going to talk to Grace. Hello, Grace.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Hey.
A little bit about me. I'm based in Los Angeles. I'm a writer, director, actor. And I have a couple projects going on right now. I'm currently a finalist for the We Screenplay pilot competition, which has been really awesome, for this pilot that I wrote called The Parts, which is loosely based on my extended Korean family, which they're all just a mess. But it's sort of like, if you can imagine, The Sopranos meets like a Korean family, and it takes place partially in Korea and partially in America. And then right now I'm mostly also focusing on a feature that I wrote that I'm planning to direct hopefully this year. It's a feature called Percy Pryor, and I wrote it. It's a dramedy about a woman who goes to great lengths to find out if she's a sociopath. It's a very character-driven drama / comedy, and it's currently out to a lead actress on a I should say critically acclaimed, and I think it's a hit. I don't know anymore because there's so many things going on, but she's on a hit streaming series right now. And she's a good friend of the DP who I'm working with on the project. So for that, I'm really looking for producers, people who might be interested in working on something in that kind of indie feature film realm. And then lastly, I have a feature that I produced and I wrote that went to festivals and things like that many, many years ago. And I sort of did nothing with it. It didn't get distribution at the time. There wasn't any, famous actors in it. But for some crazy reason, well, I know why, because he's extremely talented. One of the actors in it became a gigantic famous person, and he's a very good friend of mine. So right now I'm trying to see if I can make any money from this movie that, that broke my budget many years ago. And so I would be interested in hearing about if anybody has put a film up on like Amazon Direct or iTunes, and to hear your experience with that, because that's the process I'm in right now, is trying to get those films available on some, streaming or platforms, and try to make some money back from that film that I lost a lot of money on.
Oh no! So what's the runtime? It's a feature.
It's a feature. The one that's already done. That was 96 minutes, 97 minutes. Yeah. So
and what's the genre?
It's actually a road trip kind of dramedy, I would say. Yeah, like a love story. And I know love stories are kind of hard, but it's a love story. Yeah.
Okay. Let me send me a direct email on that. Let's talk about that for a second. Before you go slapping it on Amazon, let's talk.
Yeah,
Not that that's
I would
a bad
love to
thing,
hear. Yeah, no, I would love to hear, because I'm sure, the contract, speaking of lawyers, I was like, Jesus Christ, I was looking at yesterday in the contract. It's like, as soon as I start reading that lawyer stuff, my mind just turns into foam. I don't know how to process that stuff. So yeah, I would love to hear people's experiences. Thank you.
Well, I'm familiar with a very, very good film. Where's A Bag of Worms? That's what I'm familiar with.
Hey, thank you.
You're so modest. You didn't even bring that up. That's like
I know.
awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I did a short film and called Bag of Worms. It's about cultural appropriation at a Halloween party, and you know, friends getting into a fight about, you know, racial topics. And it's got some legs. It's funny. A Stanford professor reached out to me the other day and was like, I want to talk to you about your short film. And she's like, I'm writing a dissertation. And I'm like, that's so interesting. So I've had a lot of people reach out from all over the world saying, can we, you know, screen your film? And it's such an interesting topic. So yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, good to hear from you. I'd like to hear more about your feature. If you can send me, you know, your trailer and stuff, and
Great.
Let's talk about it. And if I
I
have
would
some
really
connections, I'll let you know.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
And anyone else in the group experience with direct distribution to Amazon, iTunes, please chime in and with your experiences in the chat, and let's get that dialogue rolling. Thank you. All right, moving on. Let's go to Eric Forrester.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Not too much, not too much. Just been working away at films, like I assume a lot of people here have been. Yeah, my name's Eric Forster. I am a Canadian-based filmmaker out of the Greater Toronto region. Yeah, I've actually had a film in one of your circuits before. I had an interview with you last year due to my short film Wendigo.
Yes.
That's done pretty well in film festivals. I mostly work in short films. I've produced, written, directed 6 short films, going on my 7th right now, which will be doing its festival run very soon, Blood of Ghent. I'm starting my first feature film later this year, and I'm kind of just here to talk to folks, hear where everybody's from, see what everybody's up to. You know, just get more established and connected in the industry itself.
You got anything cooking? You got any crew calls coming up? Like, are you making something? Are you looking to network?
Yeah, you know, so I'm just releasing literally today. We finished my most recent short film, which is a timepiece set during the War of 1812. So that's something that I'm going to be running through festivals. So keep your eye out for Blood of Ghent, folks. After that, I am starting my first feature film, which we're planning to shoot late 2023, early 2024. And if anybody's within the, you know, I know this is mostly American, but if there's any Canadian filmmakers out there, I have a large team, but we're always looking to collaborate with people, always looking for work as well. So just throwing that out there. I'm probably going to link my website and material and stuff like that for anybody who's interested in the stuff I make. But yeah.
Awesome. How's Wendigo doing? Are you still promoting that one on the film festival circuit, or is that one?
Yeah, I think it's got a couple more festivals to go through, but it's done really well. We've won awards pretty much all over North America. Haven't hit the Europe mark, but I think the next film, Blood of Ghent, is going to do very well in Europe. So that's what we're aiming for.
All right, good stuff. Thank you for your time today, and I remember your work. Very, very good stuff. So
really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good one. All right, Luke McKenna. Hey, Luke. Come on down, Luke.
Hi, how you getting on? Sorry, just trying to find the buttons there.
No worry. Do you need us to come back to you, or are you good?
Oh no, it's grand. I'm all good, all good, all good.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm coming all the way from Ireland here. It's late night here.
Sorry, I try to book it so that most people can attend, but
yeah,
sorry about that.
No, it's dark, but it's not too late. So basically, I'm a mostly producer now, but I started off as an actor, and I still act quite a bit. But I ended up I met my wife, who's a director, and I ended up producing a lot of her things. It's just kind of fell into it.
Okay.
We had a short over with you guys a long time ago now at this point. The Boogeyman, it's a little, like, I think it's 90 seconds long, but it did right over there.
Yeah.
But since then we've been kind of going strength to strength, and like we've been doing some stuff with the Irish language broadcaster over here in Ireland, TG Carr. And I've a pilot I've been kind of having the back burner for a good few years now, and it was with a large company in the UK now until recently, and it's kind of back in my hands again now. Unforeseen circumstances, unfortunately, but I'm kind of looking for a new home for at the moment. That's kind of why I'm here at the moment, trying to see if I can figure somewhere where I can go, or anywhere I get in contact with any aggregators for likes of Netflix and things like that, because I know it's where it got. I know it's there already. It just needs to get in front of the right person, and it'll take off. So it already did get in front of the right people, just not the right time.
Sure.
So I'm just kind of seeing where else I can get it now. And there's my wife has her first feature kind of on the way now as well at the moment, and just kind of looking for funding and stuff for that. So we're plenty going on in the background here.
So you're funding one feature, but you finished another?
The last thing we did was a 40-minute short. I would call it a short. It was 40 minutes, and that was it was funded by local government here, and it was an experimental thing. It was half theater, half film. It was done during COVID, so that it was filmed in a way that there was that nobody really was, only a max of 2 people per scene really, but they kind of each scene led into another, and the characters kind of the focus changed between scenes on different characters, and all kind of came together at the end. And it was interesting to put it mildly, but it did reasonably well around the place.
Good
but
stuff.
The only problem was 40 minutes long. It wasn't very eligible for a lot of things.
Okay.
You know, so that's one bit of advice I'd give: try and keep things under 30.
Keep things under 30. Yeah, I understand that.
But well, when it comes to short, anyway, I would keep it under 30, go over an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know.
All right.
But so yeah, that's the thing at the moment. We're kind of just looking for contacts, international contacts, to see if, and aggregators primarily at the moment as well, as we have stuff cooking here ready to go. Just needs to be put in front of the right people.
All right. So looking for aggregators, sales agent, I guess is another word for that. Yep. You never know who you're going to run into. If you want to forward me any trailers or anything, I can see if I can shake a few trees and see if something will fall out. No promises, but I'll do the best I can. But hey, thanks for checking in.
I can give more details over email privately about the situation prior to now, shall I say? But it's not. It's not something that can be publicly said.
No worries. So we got Ireland checking in today, New Zealand, we got Canada. Man, thank you so much for taking the time, and I'll do everything I can to help you out. Take it easy. No problem. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Rachel Santos. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
What's up?
Not much. This is sort of my first time here, I guess.
No worries.
Yeah. So far, I have written a lot of scripts that I've gotten into film festivals, and sometimes they've ranged from comedy to drama to dramedy. And I worked on 2 shorts with me and my family for the series I've been working on called Cats vs. Geese. It was just this idea I got when I lived in Georgia, because my condominium had both feral cats and some wild Canada geese. And I was like, what if those animals fought over territory and stuff? And it just became a series. I think I put a link to the YouTube channel. I'm currently working on my short that my brother is making. I don't exactly have a trailer or anything right now, but I can put it up on, but when it's where I'm able to, I can put it up on the YouTube channel. I put a link for the YouTube channel for everyone.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hey, please like our channel. And if you ever want to post about it in one of the networking meetings to get some publicity for it, or, you know, something like that, if you, whenever it's done or whenever a trailer is done, you know, we'll do our best we can to share it.
Okay. And yeah, I think right now I'm just sort of here to get familiar with everyone, and like right now I don't know if I have any project, and like to get enough contacts, like in case of one of my projects and I decide I want to talk to you guys about working on it, or in case if I want to collaborate with you guys.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready to crew up or co-write or anything like that, this is a great place to find people. Where are you located again?
Currently Utica, New York.
Okay. We got a lot of upstate, right? We got a lot of upstate New Yorkers here today.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Hey, thank you for checking in. We are going to go on to, appreciate it, Mark Gunyon. That's a familiar name. Excuse me.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm great, Mark.
I just want to say quickly thanks to you because I love your festivals and I love all the stuff you do for filmmakers. So thanks to you, first of all.
Appreciate it.
I do a couple things. In my day job, I name things like products and companies. So if anybody ever needs a title for your series or your movie, get in touch and I'd love to help out with that. The other thing I do is I write action. I write big kind of booming action scripts. I have 7 or 8 specs that you can check the log lines out at 500haiku.com is my screenwriting services page. If anybody's got some, if you want to shoot an action movie, I'd love you to look at my log lines. If you've got some action in your script and you maybe need some punch up or a polish, I would love to do that too. I'm looking for an LA rep. I write just features and just specs, it's a tough market out there right now, but a changing one. So if anybody would like to look at some big action movies, I have some. And like I said, if anybody needs a title, get in touch and we'll work out a swap or something.
Appreciate that, Mark. You're a humble guy, man. You've written so many fantastic screenplays that have come through. And it's just a matter of getting the right eyeballs. I mean, really, really, really impressive work. And I hope you do find an agent. I hope you do find someone you could work with, someone, and I know it's hard to get to the festival, so this is the next best thing. So it's good to see you in the flesh here.
Yeah, it's thanks again, Michael. I have had great luck at your festivals and I get great feedback and I really enjoy them. So anybody here, if you write any dark material, check out one of Michael's After Dark festivals because they are cool. So,
for sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Mark. Next up, we have Danielle and Kelly Grimm. Hello, Danielle and Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Danielle Grimm. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a screenwriter and currently I've made one short film entitled The Demonies. It's about a family of vigilante serial killers, light material. Right now, I've been writing a few scripts lately and ideally I'm trying to also make IMDb. I'm in the process of really getting together an IMDb and just learning to use it because my goal eventually is to reach out to agents, managers, and just try to, pitch some of my projects and also myself in hopes of getting representation. And I guess what I'm looking for is, if anyone has any good resources on good ways to present yourself to managers or agents, because ideally with an agent I would like to be in a writer's room.
Okay, so are you like a two sister writing crew here? Is that what we're looking at?
Michael, you are my new favorite person thinking I am Danielle's sister.
Oh, so... you're not? Oh my goodness.
No, I'm her mama.
You're both such youthful energy there. You got me.
Well, actually, we also write under the moniker, the Screenwriters Grimm. We've also created an anthology of 230 monologues for acting out studios for demo reels. And that goes from little kids all the way up to adults. I also coach for Creative Actors Lab. So, we also coach actors online and we also do some script writing classes. But Danielle actually produced and directed the Damani sizzle reel, and that's gotten some traction in some of the film festivals. Some of the scripts I've written have won in the film festival. So, I mean, we're just kind of here to network, to see what everybody else is doing. And, you know, to Danielle's point about getting representation as well. So, you know, any help that we can have. And I'm excited to learn that you have a film festival here in Georgia. So we are definitely going to check that out.
We have two. They're at Plaza Theater, easy to find. Plaza Theater, we have, I believe it's April 11th and 12th. We have the Georgia Comedy Film Festival, the Atlanta After Dark Film Festival. Both programs are very, very different when you watch them. Very different markets. Please, if you can attend, they're both during the day, during the week, but if you can attend, we start out with basically a networking, like a coffee happy hour type social at the beginning for an hour before we actually go into the theater and start doing awards. So we'll have name tags and things. You can meet people, practice your pitch, shake hands with others. I will say that Atlanta, and we just restarted our festivals in Atlanta last year. Atlanta is one of those markets where there's a lot of local power players in Atlanta. So if you're setting up meetings, sometimes that's a good place to invite them to. Let's meet you at the festival. Let's take a look.
Oh, okay.
You know, as a screenwriter, you can meet people there as too, but I had a higher percentage of, let's say, industry professionals who were looking for content showing up in Atlanta than some of our other festivals, just because so much of the industry has moved there. Message me when you get a chance. You obviously have my email address, so message me and I'll make sure we make arrangements, you know, see about if there's any leftover tickets or anything we can get you, anything we can help with, at least to facilitate the happy hour part and get you involved. We're trying to crack the code in Atlanta as well, and we're also trying to grow the events. And so connections to screenwriters would be great. We'd also like to plan in the future some type of live screenplay reading events as well in Atlanta. Plaza Theater is a pretty expensive place to put a film festival, but if we could find an environment that's more conducive to like poetry readings or live readings, or like a club or a bar or a social hangout or something where we could put it together and maybe do some cool screenplay readings, I would wholeheartedly support that. I think those are fun events that offer a lot of networking and learning from other filmmakers and screenwriters.
Great. Well, thank you so much for all that. We're definitely check that out.
Yeah, no worries. Is there anything that you're looking for right now other than just meeting people? Are you looking for any production companies, or is there any links we can put in the chat for people to contact you?
Well, we actually did put in for the Damani's website, and we can go ahead and do that, and also Creative Actors Lab. But yeah, I mean, she's made the sizzle reel. What we would like to do is expand it out into a series.
Right now I'm just I'm just kind of, my goal this year is to network around, especially on IMDb Pro, because also for anyone who doesn't know, I've been really getting into IMDb Pro lately, and it has basically contact info for agents, managers, all kinds of people to really make a connection with. So right now I'm just trying to make a spreadsheet of some names, and when my page is looks really good, and my screenplay that I have for my portfolio is a bit more in better shape, then I would like to reach out to more people and managers.
Good plan. Well, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. All right, going on to Ken Montano. Hello, Ken.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mikel. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Hey, good to meet you. I know my name's spelled weird, but it's just good old Michael. Just my mom spelled it.
Oh, is that how you say it? Okay, sorry.
No worries. No worries. It's my whole life. It's I blame my mom.
My name is Ken Montano, and my wife and I, we started a production company back in 2020. Before that, I was a photographer since 2012, where I pretty much did, all kinds of stuff. I know Photoshop really well, and I make posters a lot. I've made like 6 now, for films. But in 2020, we started our own production company called Montana Productions, and basically we just make films for people who want films to be made. So we basically we've made over 15 films since 2020. And I've done that as the editor, as the cinematographer, the director, in some cases even the audio mixer, just because we didn't have anybody except
my goodness.
times. So basically, I learned a lot in a short time. But prior to that, I actually did go to actual film school, but it was such a long time ago that they actually used film. And
wow,
the only person that uses film anymore is like Quentin Tarantino, right? So basically,
Yes, I remember using film 100 years ago too.
so basically, I had to relearn everything again as far as like editing and everything. So I did that in the last like 4 years, basically. And yeah, so if you need a cinematographer, a director, an editor, just like a basic filmmaker who can just do all kinds of stuff, that's what I do. My wife and I offer a package called the producer's package, which is, you know, we basically write the film, we produce it, we do everything except the executive producer part. That would be for the client. Currently making a film right now for a client that's going to be out in film festivals probably in June or July. And I make films in my garage a lot. Everything from like car chases to people walking in the snow. You know, like we have like a treadmill up and everything, and people walk on the treadmill. We have like a rear screen projection behind there, so we do all kinds of stuff in the garage. It's crazy.
Wow. So a turnkey production company. Amazing. I said, you're like a turnkey production company. Like someone could hire you and
yeah,
get their film in.
Just because I have like a real passion for it, I've had a camcorder on my shoulders since I was like 11 years old when they went on your shoulders. So I just love it, you know?
Awesome. Well, I'm sorry. Where were you based again?
Oh, sorry. Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida. Okay.
And I have a Montana Productions YouTube channel. You can check out all my films and like short clips and stuff as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you threw a link in there for us. I don't see it right away, but
yeah, I put a few links in there from my YouTube.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. You're a very rare breed indeed to just have like this turnkey opportunity, or someone who's entry level, maybe a screenwriter, somebody working on a proof of concept or something, to find someone that can really do all aspects of the business. A great resource. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but you know, that's what you have to do when you don't have anybody else to work with. But now I do. Now we've worked with productions with like 40 people on the crew sometimes.
Wow.
Crazy.
Good contact, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for checking in. All right, we're going to go to Izzy Love. Izzy Love. How are you, Izzy?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Last year I had a short film that debuted at the Portland Comedy Film Festival.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. Good work. Good work. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're checking in with us today. Where are you located and what do you got for us?
So I'm based in both Portland, Oregon and the New Jersey area. Okay. Currently, I'm studying filmmaking at Montclair State University. I'm a director, writer, editor, assistant director. I worked on like several student and shorts and independent short films. Mm-hmm. Currently at the moment, I'm on the lookout for production assistant jobs in either the Portland area or the New Jersey area.
Uh-huh. All right. Are you going to be in Portland this weekend? Are you going to be in the area?
Unfortunately, I won't be in Portland until about May, when summer break starts.
All right. Well, keep in touch with our schedule. I can put that in the chat for our Portland events. At the Clinton Street Theater, we always open up with a 1 hour just social networking and coffee with no distractions and no music or anything to really bother anybody. It's just filmmakers and people meeting other filmmakers, and you're welcome to come down and join us. You're an alum. Make sure you come on down and hang with us. And I hope there's somebody in here, maybe in the New Jersey area, that can, you can network with, or you can meet, get on productions. You said production assistant, and what other skills do you offer?
I also have experience as an assistant director on short on short films.
Okay. Excellent. So AD work, production assistant work. Go ahead and let's look up Izzy Love. Thank you so much for checking in.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Oh, and I should
yeah.
note, like, so it sounds like there's a lot of people in the New York area. I am able to commute to New York for any positions.
Oh, perfect. All right. And do you have a link to your short that you screened with us last time? Do you have you made it public, or are you still doing the rounds with the circuit?
It is public now. I'm gonna drop the link to my YouTube channel in just a second.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let's go on to Amy Brooks. Hey, Amy.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good.
Hey, I'm also based in Atlanta, Georgia. I have been with Warner Brothers Discovery since 2001. I have mostly been in the operations department, but I have a passion for storytelling and talent acquisition. So I'm just here to listen in about the talent piece. And it's very interesting to hear what everybody's doing and working on. But I'm looking to get into talent representation and casting calls. So I'm here just to kind of hear about casting calls and to steer some of the people that I may start representing towards casting calls. And here is one of my little models right here, my cat. But yeah, so I really appreciate you putting this event on. It's exciting. And if anybody has any information on how to make the transition from a 20-year television career into talent representation, I'd really appreciate it.
Well, I would like to invite you to our Atlanta-based events. And if you have an opportunity to stop by, I'd love to shake your hand and get to know you and pick your brain on some of the working for Warner Discovery. That's a
yeah.
There's history there. That's all right. Cats are invited to the meeting too.
There she is.
Yeah, I'd love to pick your brain on some of your history working in the, people always want to know the people behind the curtain, working
right.
corporate structure.
So I've been more on the operations side, but I have been very fortunate to work with Conan O'Brien, Charles Barkley. Just seeing them around campus has been pretty cool. So, but that's what kind of got me wanting to do the talent piece, because that's what really gets me. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I'd love to introduce you at our networking events in Atlanta. So you have my email address, keep in touch with me, and I'd love to make that arrangement.
I will do. And thanks again for putting this on, and I'll let somebody else go since we're running out of time.
Thank you, Amy. Have a good day. And I hope we get to see you soon. We're going to go on to, bye.
Thanks.
Go on to Mooski. Mooski, how's it going? Mooski, if you need some time, we can come back to you. Mooski?
I remember in the chat he said that he had to jump on another call.
Oh, no worries. How about, can you put the hand back up and we'll come back to you?
Yeah, if I see, this is Dominic, by the way. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, Dominic.
I just saw in the chat. No, I didn't.
Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk now, or do you want to come back? I'm sorry. I just want to understand.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading in the chat that he had to go to another one. That's just relaying the message.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Well, if for some reason he checks back in, we'll check in. And let me go on to see, Dominic, you got your hands up. Are we talking to you later? No, Dominic looks like he's just listening here.
Just listening today.
Okay, my man. Well, anytime you want to chime in, we have another event scheduled. Anytime you want to chime in, we'd love to hear from you. Okay. All right, let's go to Joseph Metcalf. Hey, Joseph.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. You're based in Austin, right?
I'm actually in San Antonio now, but I'm about 70 miles away from our venue that we use in Austin.
You got it.
So
I used to live I was in San Antonio for about 5 years. I was quite involved with the film market up in Austin. In fact, I was on the team that was responsible for helping get the tax film credit incentive raised up to 15 and then 18.5%. But that's going back to like 2009. But yeah, love San Antonio. You're in a great place.
Good stuff.
Well, I'm happy to introduce myself. I am Joseph Metcalf. I'm known for being a film composer because I won the World Soundtrack Award last year for a score that I did for The King's Daughter, which was released in about 2,100 theaters across the country in January, starring Pierce Brosnan, William Hurt. It's actually William Hurt's final movie before he passed, unfortunately. Julie Andrews narrating, etc. So it's it's great to be here, listen to all the filmmakers, and I'm happy to connect with people. In fact, I've seen a few people in here, and I want to give a shout out to Katie Garibaldi. If I think she's actually got a hand up, so she'll introduce herself. But an excellent music supervisor, and if anybody doesn't know what a music supervisor does or the importance or value of one, get in touch with her, because she'll help take a production through every stage of the music with immaculate precision. So put that on your list. If you haven't reached out to her yet, definitely do so. I also wanted to, as well as connect with people here, I also want to just talk about a little opportunity which is opening up, in a very non-competitive kind of way. I'm actually going to be a part of a team that's doing a Simi Valley Film Festival. It's the very first one, so we're learning a lot about it. But it's going to be a film festival later on this year. I think it's going to be announced formally next month. For later in this year, which is a film festival that's going to also be geared obviously directly to the independent film market, with a lot of featured events like tours of studios, places where filmmakers can go and use local resources as well to get their productions done on very much smaller budgets as well. So I just wanted to just give a little shout out to that for anybody who's looking for something later down the road. All
right, good stuff. Well, you're a humble guy. That's a serious credit you just dropped on us, and a pretty big award. That is amazing. The King's Daughter, right? That's what you.
Yeah.
Wow, great job.
Thank you very much.
So, do you work? I know this sounds like a strange question, but do you work alone, or do you team up to do a film like that? Like, I mean, I know you have people that play instruments and things like that, but are you a writing team, or are you pretty much the core of it?
I do both. I used to be, once upon a time, it used to be very solo, very individual. I mean, like I said, I worked with Ron Jones for a while. This is going back into the 90s, dare I say it. And then, I realized, and leading into The King's Daughter, it was a very collaborative experience. I had actually two other composers, which I could have put it down as like additional composers, but I thought, let's give people a chance to really shine. John had a few music credits beforehand, and I also brought in a video game composer called Grant Kirkhope, who he's like, if you look him up, he's like, I think number 12 in the world for video game music, from everything back in the days of Banjo-Kazooie all the way through to GoldenEye, and he's the only non-Japanese composer to have written a Mario game music. So,
wow.
He really wanted to branch into film. So, gave him a little bit of a shot at that as well, and gave him, about 11 minutes of music in the film for that one. So, I've realized there's a power in collaboration. It's the same as with filmmaking. If you keep it all to yourself, you're limiting the scope of what is possible. And there's a little quote that sits on my brother's desk that says, "There's no limit to how high a man can fly or how high he can soar, if he doesn't mind who gets the credit." And and I love that kind of mentality. I love bringing people together and allowing everybody to really have their light shine.
All right, that's awesome. And hey, good luck. It sounds like you're working on that new film festival. We don't have film festival competitors. We feel like there's 6,000 festivals out there. We have 11. We're not really competing with anybody. I think the experience for the entire circuit, I just want to see people have the best experience they possibly can. And, best of luck. If you ever need to pick my brain, you got my email. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Likewise,
problem.
vice versa as well.
Thank you so much. It's very good to meet you. Thanks for taking the time. Okay, Carla Espino. Hello, Carla.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm great. It's good to see you.
You too. So I'm Carla Espino. I'm a writer, director, comedian here in Los Angeles, California. I think it was May. I'm a multi-hyphenate. So writer, director, performer, editor, photographer, producer, camera person, kind of encapsulating everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really fun. Sometimes, like I've heard other people say, when you don't have a lot of other people, you kind of learn how to do it all yourself. So that was me for a while. But since coming to LA, I've been really lucky to meet a lot of creative individuals. And right now I have 3 different kind of projects that I'm working on. One is a dramedy feature that I completed writing last year. We are in pre-production for, so that's something that I'm looking for either production companies, interest, or investors. it's pretty low budget indie film, you know, like our goal is $300,000. That's not super low, but it's low. And then I also have a pilot that I've directed last August that we are trying to finish right now because of COVID, of course, still acting, you know, in its selfish ways. We had to delay production. We have one pickup day, but we are facing a little bit of a financial situation there. The pilot is called Farmers. It's a comedy, 30-minute comedy pilot, basically based on a fictionalized version of the Silver Lake Farmers Market, run by a Indian woman who's trying to absolve her corporate past and is now being faced with a corporate entity who's trying to take over her farmers market. So it's a project that's really dear to my heart. My friend Joe Felix wrote it, and it includes a huge diverse cast of individuals. So that's our goal. And then my last real, you know, initiative is finding representation as a writer, director, filmmaker. That's been something that I know is on a lot of people's lists. Yeah. And so those are kind of, I just feel like I just spewed everything out really quickly.
No, you know what? It's good to put it out there and let people know what you were looking for. So if you're marketing your skill set right now, what is it? Is there any particular work you're looking for at the moment, like in the short term?
Definitely. So I'd say comedy directing is number one, as well as comedy writing. I do also write drama, but my heart is really in comedy. I'm on a sketch comedy team here in LA. I think one of my members is still on here somewhere.
Okay.
And we perform monthly. And so, yeah, that's, and I also do AD work. So yeah, writing, directing, and assistant directing.
All right. Good to know. You got connections in LA. So I appreciate you taking the time, and you put some good films through our festivals in the past too.
Yeah,
So,
thank you so much.
yeah, well, I hope we get to see you at a future event. I know we don't have one local to LA right now, but hopefully we'll get to see you in the future, and good luck with everything. Hopefully we can make some connections for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll drop all my information in the chat.
Thanks. All right, going into Dorian Carly Jones. Dorian.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
I'm Dorian Carly Jones. I am a filmmaker and post-producer based in New York City. Over the years, I've worked in nearly all facets of production, all from PA to producer. I've directed numerous short films and mostly narrative, but also done a documentary, music videos, web series, and now I'm developing my first feature, which is a sci-fi drama that I'm looking to shoot later this year. And currently working on financing for that, and just looking to connect with any feature producers who have experience producing features, and to make further contacts with the crew down the line in the New York City area.
All right, good stuff. Well, it's funny, our premium webinar that's coming up on March the 4th is like fits you exactly. It's literally about making your first feature. We had Oliver Mann on earlier, who's a New York-based writer director who's produced a feature film already that made money, and he's going on to produce another feature. Maybe a resource for you. Hey, if you're able to stop by that webinar or come with us to one of our free virtual networking events again, let's find some connections for you. You're producing features, and I know that's an incredible feat. It can take some time to turnkey one of those. Is there any work you're putting yourself out for in the short term that maybe you're just looking, are you looking for any work right now? Are you crewing anything up?
My main focus at the moment is the feature.
Mm-hmm.
I can do many things. Like I said, I'm mostly a post producer.
Okay.
So like posts for commercials and motion graphics and stuff. So I mean, I'm always on the lookout for like freelance gigs of that sort as well too.
Excellent, Dorian. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us. Sounds like you have an expansive skill set and a good resource there in New York. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Coming up, we got Bob Singleton. Hello, Bob.
Hey, Michael, thanks for putting this on.
Yeah,
Just
no worries.
very thankful. And I got your message. I will be responding back to that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'm Bob Singleton. I am a multi-hyphenate here in the landlocked Missouri, USA, in the St. Louis metro area. I've been a film and TV buff since birth. I started creative writing back in the 70s, started producing short films and flipbook animations back in the 80s, and I've been telling stories on stage, in print, on film ever since. During the pandemic, I did a lot of live sports for youth teams that coaches weren't traveling, so they needed videos to get out to the coaches. A lot of work with CCO. Currently, my biggest push is in writing, and I've got 4 nominees at the Oregon Screams, so I'm very excited about that.
Good stuff.
Music, sound design, video editing, just kind of a little of everything. It's like, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, so to speak, and I don't ever plan on doing that. So again, thank you very much. I'll throw a couple links in the chat, and thanks again for this opportunity.
Well, you're a heck of a writer, Bob.
You've seen?
Yes, I've read. I mean, once we get to the award nomination stage, especially, I get to sit down and read these, and I'm like, is this the same guy? And then I look up and you got multiple screenplays in Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival. You really hit it out of the park with that group. That is our most.
I'm so excited. I discovered, again, your festival simply by Film Freeway. I think after I had entered Austin Under the Stars, I know that's not affiliated with you. I think I'd gotten an email from you guys. And so I was like, hey, this looks like a festival that might get me. And the Austin After Dark, now that's one of your all's fests as well, right?
Definitely.
Well, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. So again, thank you so much. I'm really excited. I truly hope that I can get myself some really cheap airfare out to Portland to come and attend the festival in person.
Yeah, if not, Austin After Dark's kind of a road trip. So either one. Even if you don't make it to Portland, you don't make it to Oregon Screams, we can take all your certificates and present them to you at Austin. We can do all of them at the same time. I mean, this is the real world here. You only have so much money to do these things, and I get it. Travel's tough. But we'll accommodate you the best way that we possibly can. All right.
I really appreciate it. Thanks again for everything.
Yeah, no worries. And Austin Under the Stars is great, by the way. Ali is a super director. He was a filmmaker that had films in our festivals years and years ago. And he said, hey, Michael, I'm going to start my own festival. Man, his festivals are cool, man.
I found it wonderful. The only thing is that they didn't have, that you guys had, was they didn't have a TV category. So my pilot that I entered here, they're like, oh, go ahead and enter it in the feature category. I'm like, okay.
Gotcha.
And then so I went because I wanted to go to Austin. I got a bargain flight, and I ended up getting best feature for my pilot. So I'm excited about that. And so that kind of gave me that little boost to push me forward. So again, thank you so very much.
Good stuff, my man. Take it easy. All right, going next, Sanita Misra. I hope I'm saying that right. Sanita, how are you? Thank you for joining us. You have to unmute, Sanita.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I think I came to your last networking meeting also.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate what you do. I've made a lot of shorts. I mean, I feel so daunted by all the stuff these guys have done. But there are all kinds of people who've done some great work. But anyway, I made a lot of short films. I put my link for the IMDb page. I'm trying to put together a feature film now. I have a screenplay, a couple of screenplays, but this screenplay for a horror film and a low budget horror film, obviously. I'm trying to put together some financing. I need producers. I'm writing letters to people in the same genre, Blumhouse and places like that, to see where because I have more of a niche kind of storytelling style. I focus on the South Asian community. And so, I'm trying to reach out to people. Up till now, all my short films I've just made from grant money, and I haven't been able to really raise any money from outside. But this one last film that I did has gone to Disney, so I'm happy about that.
What?
Wow,
good job.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get my last short film, which I've got a lot of awards, but I don't really know what film festivals do for us. But some of them are, I hope it gets me some traction. And I have to get to some of your film festivals now. Austin, I mean, I don't have comedy right now, and I don't have horror, But I didn't make my last film is about magic realism, so I guess we could fit it into horror, right?
Well, we have, so the Oregon Short Film Festival, the reason why it's so popular, it's every genre. There's no limit.
Oregon Film Festival. That's kind of far from me because I'm in DC.
You're
so
in
I can make it
DC.
to Atlanta. I can make it
Yeah.
Georgia.
So we have Atlanta After Dark and Georgia Comedy. I know it's not the same thing. We're looking
It's
at
not the same.
we're
Yeah,
looking
but
at
I can-
expanding. Right now, the theater, you know, it's one of those things where we have to just measure the budget, and I'd like to open it up more. The Georgia Shorts Film Festival is not run by me. It's run by director Caroline King, but that one is a lot like Oregon Short Film Festival. It shows everything. So I encourage you to look at the Georgia Shorts Film Festival.
And I think it's open still because a lot of these film festivals must have stopped accepting films now because, you know, the deadlines are kind of a couple of months in advance.
Sure.
And so I think Georgia Short Film Festival is still open. So I'll try that out. I
It's a good one.
definitely will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good festival.
I mean, that's a tough thing too to decide which festivals to submit to because
Sure.
many of us are on limited budgets. I mean, you know, I have just grant money. That's it. Most of my films are really low budget. But anyway, I really, really want to make this short feature film. I think it's time for me to graduate from short films to feature films, and I mean from short films to big time. I mean, not a big time. It'll be a budget less than 100,000. And a lot of it will be crowdfunding and, you know, friends and people I have to beg money from. But I'm hoping to get some producers because I think it's a decent, you know, it's a decent horror film. A script that I've written. It's a bit of mythology and a little demons coming out of places. So hopefully it'll get some traction for me. And, you know, Indian mythology. A lot of people use mythology and these kind of horror films. So there's a lot of stuff to be done with Indian mythology. So that's the kind of place I'm going to. But, you know, there are producers in there. I know there are a lot of people who've done production. And there's one guy, right? He does everything, Montana.
Yeah, he had a whole Ken's got a whole turnkey company down
He
there.
does everything. Maybe I'm going to reach out to Montana and see if he can fit in my budget. So, you know, I need a one-stop thing like you do, everything in your garage. That's the kind of feature film really that I need to make. If I have to be within my budget, because I know it is hard. But, you know, and I'm in DC where there's nothing happening. So, but I can get to New York easily.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem at all.
We've had a lot of New York and Atlanta on this call, so we'll make it happen somehow, Sunita.
Yeah, you know, you
right.
have a meeting on March 3rd, right?
So we have on March 1st, we have a free networking meeting, and on March 4th, we have the premium webinar, which is, are you ready to fund your first feature film? Where we're really going to dig into that one topic with Oliver Mann and his experience, which was tremendous. What a great guy. He's very transparent about everything. He had some pitfalls along the way of making his first feature, but unlike other people, this dude made his money back, and that's what's respectable. He made it all back with such a funny life. And if you could take,
you probably have links to these meetings on the email you sent us, right?
I do. I just threw one in the chat, and I'm going to send out another email. The next email will have the next networking, virtual filmmaker networking date, and it'll also have the premium webinar link in there. So you'll get another email from me.
And can I invite somebody else also? Because my son is a filmmaker too in New York.
Absolutely.
And
So-
he's trying to get opportunities. I mean, he's planning to go to NYU, but you know, he's a filmmaker and he'd love to go for your networking event. And he's helping with editing and everything. You know, us small budget filmmakers have to get any kind of help that we can get. So my son has jumped in and helped me edit my last film too, and he's a cinematographer. And he's
bring him
done
down.
He's done a couple of Netflix films as an assistant to an assistant to an assistant, really low level, but still he's been on 2 Netflix films.
Lola, come on, Sunita. I know you're real, but you ain't gonna be that real. Leave him alone. He's
but
working
really,
his way up. Good stuff.
He's working his way up. He's
Good
working his
stuff.
way up.
Well,
That's true.
thank you. Thank you for your time. And yes, I will keep you informed about the interviews. And
And you don't mind me inviting somebody else, right?
invite
Forwarding
everyone
your-
you want. Now with the premium webinar,
wonderful.
you need to be on the same device. It is a paid event, but you can show it to a whole
Yeah.
class. I don't care, but Each $50 payment is for one device. But for the
Okay.
virtual networking meetings, you can spread the word and bring everybody you'd like. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. And
Thank
thank you for
you.
all that you do. You do a great job.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. All right, Laura, I want to say Drayson. Please make sure.
Yep, that's right.
I said it right. What?
Right,
Okay.
I know, it's kind of amazing. Usually people call me Laura also, but it's Lara.
Oh, Lara, I'm sorry. I got one part of it right.
Oh, no, it didn't even register for me. Like Laura is what registers for you. You're great.
Gotcha.
You're great. Thanks for setting this up. It's nice to meet you. Emailing. I am Lara. I live in LA now, but I'm originally from New Jersey and New York City. My short People Pleasers that I produced with my sketch team, Wiggle Room, which Carla is a part of, is going to be shown in the Austin Micro Film Festival.
Yes.
And it's nominated for Most Original Concept. So that was exciting. My background's in crisis PR, marketing strategy, like impact. I went to grad school for social science, and I kind of got to this point where I was like, I keep trying to like define everything and like figure it out and control it. And then I sort of went back to my roots, in theater and the arts. I studied it since I was little. And I'm like, you know what? I just need to like write a thing about this and the expression of it. Like a lot of my stuff really does kind of pull from like neurodivergent perspectives and like social commentary, understanding social dynamics and things like that. But I like to write comedy. And so I'm working on a couple of things right now, and I'm really just on here to kind of like see what's going on, meet other people. I'm open to writing opportunities, producing opportunities, and potential collaborations. So yeah, nice to meet you all and hear more about what you do.
Sorry, I had myself muted. I was coughing earlier. Where are you based?
I'm in LA.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. And there was someone looking for PR earlier.
Yeah.
Cornelia. So I hope you reached out to her.
I did reach out to her. And yeah, I'm not really doing it as much anymore, but I do have a lot of experience with it. So
Okay.
I'm going to chat with her. And yeah, if anyone else wants to pick my brain, you're more than welcome to reach out.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thank you for your time. I sincerely appreciate it. We're moving on to Adina Kashanti. Did I get that right, Adina?
Yeah, Kashanti. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I got it right. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Good.
So I think that my first short film was in your festival. It was called In a Dream. It was a rom-com.
Yeah,
80s
I remember that.
style retro rom-com. Yeah. So since then, that is actually on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
I don't know how I submitted it and they I guess picked it back like a couple of years ago. Since then I made 2 other short films. The second one is on Tubi, and the third one is like not anywhere yet. I don't know if, well, it's on some like vague like foreign distribution channels. I do a lot to Film Hub, like to get distribution.
Okay.
But I primarily, I'm a writer and I have a script that I'm looking for a producer on. And this is just back up. So I'm originally from Hungary, Eastern Europe, very interested in all that. And the script that I'm trying to make is a Cold War romance and thriller.
Okay.
A little bit like Russia House. I don't know if anyone knows All-Star Movies or The English Patient. It's like a timeless love story between an American art historian, woman who went to Leningrad during the 70s, and she fell in love with a rebel painter who was part of an underground art and was caught up in some CIA intelligence operation. And it is based on a true story. And interestingly, who's the main character, well, the female protagonist in the film lived in San Antonio. She passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This August, last year in August. So,
Sorry to hear.
yeah. But she had a long and very adventurous life. This is a pretty good script, I think. It got 8 on the blacklist, and it was a finalist, and it was a stage 32 script contest last year that it was a finalist in. And even though like it sounds like a very high concept thing, it can be shot for like $5 million in Hungary. So you wouldn't even have to go to Russia and risk life and to shoot it. Because in Hungary we have all the old architecture, the type of architecture from the 70s that you need for filming that script.
Okay. Awesome. Well, looking for producers for your scripts. You've got skills. You've produced some movies, and it sounds like you have really, really good ideas. Where are you based right now? You're not in Hungary now, are you?
No, I'm not in Hungary now. I'm in Nashville.
Okay.
But I do spend the summers there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us, and let's see if we can get you some connections. All right.
Yeah, let me put maybe I have my website into the chat. That has my contact, and it also has like information about this under like scripts.
How has your experience been with Film Hub? Because there are a lot of people who have questions about distribution and they aren't familiar with the platform.
I recommend it to everyone. The only thing is that they don't, so it's
Adina, sorry, we had a little pause in your audio.
So
Can you just
I was lucky
that?
that I have a real good knack for editing. I edited all my stuff. And so I had no issue passing the quality. What is it called? The quality, I don't know.
Quality control. Okay.
Yeah, that quality control. Sorry, yeah. So I was able to do all like the right renders and the right way to close caption it and everything. So because if you have an issue, they won't help you, but that's because it's like it's free, and it does get seen by by some pretty good streamers. Whatever you put on, if you hashtags and tags and whatnot. So like, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm making bank on it, but it's really nice to say like, oh, well, my second film is in Tubi.
Sure.
Here's the link. So I would say I would recommend it, but make sure you have a really good editor who can do what is necessary to pass the quality control.
Excellent. Excellent advice. Thank you so much, Adina, for checking in. And we are moving on. Have a good one. Mike Hall, how are you?
Great. How are you, Michael?
Oh man, it's good to be back here doing this networking.
This is my first one, and I want to thank you for putting it together because I'm learning a lot, hearing a lot of people I would like to probably speak with. I'm just here. I'm based in Texas. Actor, screenwriter, had my screenplay in several of yours. Yeah. Georgia was one. I haven't won one of yours yet, but I've made it to the final. So.
Sorry about that. I don't pick them out of a hat, but you're a good screenwriter, Mike, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really taking the first steps towards taking this from script to screen, and
yes,
and I want to. It's basically a comedy, and I don't know how many times throughout any of these other webinars you've heard the words road trip twice, but the other lady said it earlier.
Yeah.
This is a road trip comedy.
Sure.
About a father and son. Imagine a man just like Tommy Chong. He's just lost in the 60s, and his son grew up to be a corporate lawyer, and now they're stuck together on this road trip there. So it's a lot of comedy, just this a lot of stuff that there's a, but it's a bonding thing between the father and the son, and there's a lot of reconciliation. And, you know, by the end of it, it's a
excellent,
touching story. But I want to get to the, you know, get to the point where we get it to from paper to the screen, and along with, you know, that and trying to write other stuff. So, but I wanted to say thank you for letting me come on here, and for the invite.
Sure.
It was great listening to everybody, and I'm going to stick around and listen to everybody else.
Good stuff. Well, hey, you know, a feature film journey. That's why we're doing the webinar, because I have a conversation like yours. It's almost like Groundhog Day, and which is a good thing, because you're interested. You're like, what do you're like, I understand. I don't know everything. Yeah. Help me.
Oh, I don't know what.
Yeah. So I recommend the webinar. And if, you know, if that's not an opportunity for you, then at least, you know, plug into the networking meetings, do your own research. But you know, having a plan will save you time, energy, grief, money, trust me. So, you know,
I will be submitting to Portland too, so
please do. Fun town. So come join us.
Well, I don't know if I could make that trip, but
that's okay.
I can't even hardly make the trips here in Texas.
Well, it's all right. That's all right. Well, you never know. Well, it's good at least to get your work in front of fresh eyes. So
thank you so much for that.
All right, Mike. Hopefully I'll see you soon at another
Yes, sir,
at a Texas event. You know, you can always come down and join us.
Oh, I will.
All right, my friend.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on here. We're going to add Mike Hall. We're going to go to my man, Derek Sitter. What's up, Derek?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
Oh, by God, that's good. How's everyone?
I think we got a dedicated crew here. We're going into OT, and we still got them
Hey,
hanging
yeah.
out. So,
and I see Taylor down there at the bottom. Hi, Taylor. Somebody mentioned Taylor a couple of times in this. My name's Derek Sitter. I essentially have a PhD in acting. I have an MFA, and I'm one of the 1,000 members of the Actor Studio.
All right.
That's where it all started. I was in LA for 15 years, worked in film, television, theater. In short, had a child and didn't want to raise my daughter in Los Angeles, so we moved to Bend, Oregon, of all places, and I've been spending the last 12 years running a Volcanic Theater Pub, which is a very popular theater here in Bend, Oregon. The good news is I just sold it.
Good for you.
And I was reduced to, I was doing a lot of theater at the theater, but I was reduced to becoming a music promoter. It became a very, very, very popular music venue. And I didn't really have the opportunity to do any theater. So it kind of pushed me into doing writing for film and television. And since I've sold the theater, I'm a free agent. And it looks like I'm going to be moving away from Bend, Oregon. I'm going to be traveling a ton. I just saw Mikel in San Antonio last month at the Texas Short Film Festival. And I'm looking to relocate. Don't know if I'm going back to Los Angeles, if I'm going to Atlanta, if I'm going to go to Texas. I don't know what that is yet, but I know that I'm now going to primarily focus on writing more, directing more, and acting more. The last film Taylor and I did was Tutu Grande. I think that was, Jesus, 4 years ago. And we're still being solicited for festivals, and it's still in the circuit. And it's did quite well. Now, not sure if I write in genre. We currently have a short film called Bug Tussle that Taylor and I, 6 of us, shot in a day that Taylor still hates me for. It was in a barn for essentially 10 hours. So I'm kind of here today to, I wanted to meet a lot of new people. since I'm, and I guess I have a couple questions. Now that I'm going to be relocating and transplanting away from Bend, Oregon, and I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling here to figure out where and what market that I really want to be in again. I don't want to start over in Los Angeles. I kind of thinking Atlanta's a hot market. I know Austin's a pretty good hot market. Albuquerque's a pretty good hot market. I hate the cold weather, so Ben's got to go. So if you need an actor that my range is pretty wide. 2, if you need an acting coach. I did a lot of that in Los Angeles on set, where they had good people that had the right look, had some talent, but really didn't have a lot of skill. I would be on set and train them and help translate what the director wanted. But we're looking at Buck Tussle, which is at the Oregon Short Film Festival. Is Carolyn still here?
Yeah, I don't think so, but we're going to see
it. We'll be at the Oregon Short Film Festival with Michael this weekend with Buck Tussle. It's a 20-minute short that we shot in a day, and we're pretty proud of it. Interesting, we won the Dark Comedy Award in Texas and nominated for the Dark Drama Award in Oregon. So regionalisms exist.
Yes.
And I'm finding out I don't write for genre. I wish I knew how. I just don't know how. I just write what comes out of my heart. But if anybody has, I'll send you my information here in a link. I will be directing and acting, and since I sold the theater, I actually probably can fund my own film now, or maybe somebody else's film. But markets, I did the LA thing for 15 years, and I was successful, and I kind of got jaded by it pretty quickly because it's not real satisfying artistically. Doing your own films and your own theater is very much more satisfying. But if you have any information for different markets that are really hot, please let me know. Send me a message, send me an email. If you need anything as like an actor, an acting coach, or even a director. I direct actors really well. Just hit me up. But I'm just here to meet a lot of people. I'm going to start networking. I finally have free time now that the theater is sold. So I'm starting over and looking to get into the game. And I'm nationwide. In fact, I'm worldwide.
Appreciate it, Derek. I hope you end up in San Antonio, but I think Atlanta's a pretty hot market. So do your research, and it'd be nice to have you around.
I mean, the weather in San Antonio is pretty good. Atlanta's pretty good, but LA's much better. But it is LA.
Well, I look forward to seeing you at the Oregon Short Film Festival this weekend. Sorry, I can't make it to McMinnville. I was hoping to make it and see you in another environment, see a great festival that we do not operate in Oregon, but is a great festival. And man,
Peter
Derek,
Billingsley is there.
Oh, awesome.
He's the keynote.
Very cool.
I get to meet Ralphie.
Yay. Well, let me know how that goes.
I will.
All right, my man. Thanks for joining
Michael.
us, Derek. Take it easy.
Thanks, Taylor. See ya.
Katie Garibaldi, hello.
Hi guys. My name's Katie. I'll try to keep it quick. I know we're over time, but I'm a music supervisor. Thank you, Joseph, for the little intro earlier, the shout out. I've worked with Joe on a couple projects before. My main thing is working with filmmakers to ensure that the right music gets placed into their films and TV and podcasts. And that includes everything from curating music to securing licenses and coordinating custom music. So if anyone needs music for their productions, I'm happy to help.
You have a skill that is vital to the industry. There are so many people that just put whatever freaking music they want in their movies. And you know, then they have these strange rules out there like, oh, if you only use 6 seconds, it's not a copyright violation. It's like, where did you get that from? Yeah, my film teacher taught me that. I'm like, your film teacher should be fired because that's not true. Yeah, please put your information in the chat. That's a huge, I'd love to have a discussion just about that one topic. If you're available, if I can give you my calendar invite for a separate interview, that would be fantastic. I'd really like to talk to you about that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I'm direct messaging you right now. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I put my links earlier, but I'll put them in again. And I'm also saving the chat so I can connect with people afterwards as well. So thanks for hosting this.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, Michael, quick question. What's
Yes,
your
sir.
direct email again?
It's here, I'll put it in the chat. It's michael.fair@filmfestivalcircuit.com. Here we go. michael.fair@circuit.com. Oop, I put coin. I'm sorry. Going too fast. There you go. All right, going on to the next. Skylar Thomas. Hello, Skylar. Skylar. We will come back to Skylar. Going once, going twice. We will be back, Skylar. My man, I didn't even see you on here. My man, William Garcia, the man who got me into this whole rat race. What's up, man?
It's going really well. This reminds me of the height of the pandemic.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, wow.
I hear you. So my name is William Garcia. I'm CEO of Playworld Pictures, a film and television production company based out of Los Angeles, California. I've known Mike for, oh my God, it's been like over 20 years or so.
Long time, yeah.
Long time. We ran all over Europe shooting a television series, which was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm a producer. I'm the one that you're trying to find. You 34 that ended up here is kind of like you waited to the last minute. So I'm an executive producer. I have financing, huh? So there you go. A little bit about me right now. We just finished a feature film called Rally Caps. It's really excited because Judd Hirsch, who's our lead actor, has also been nominated for an Oscar. So we're getting a lot of attention on our feature film. I'm producing another project called Toy House. It's a supernatural thriller. We'll be shooting in Louisiana and Colombia. Right now, we're going to be moving into casting. We're interviewing casting directors. That's just a little bit about me. I'm just here to hang out, and you know, I'll be more than happy to put a link down for like a little 30-minute free conversation. You know, if you want to reach out and I can talk to you about your project, what you're trying to do, and maybe give you a little bit of help. I don't charge for the time or do any of that. So I'll throw it in the link, and I'm just here to hang out, and thanks so much for hanging out.
Hey, well, all right. I'm putting you front and center next time, man. I didn't realize you were lurking in the shadows there. I just saw
Oh,
you.
I gotta tell you, I mean,
So-
you got 33 people that hung out after like 1 o'clock. I mean, definitely, you know, stuff. So, you know.
All right.
It's all
Thank
good.
you.
You know me, I'm really quiet. I'm down in the corner.
Nah, you're good. But you know, people
You
don't
know.
realize, man, this is a guy who makes movies, and they in the
Yeah.
movies they finish and they go out and they get distributed and they make money. So William Garcia is a name to know, and maybe I can get you in some of your time for another teaching
Yeah,
session sometime. So,
Absolutely. Actually, I'm heading this evening. CAA is having a private screening of Maverick, Top Gun, and Jerry Bruckheimer, the director, and quite a few of those actors are going to be attending. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
how this is. I'm going to tell you, this is how you make movies: is you network. You go to these events,
Sure.
you meet people, just like what Mike's doing, and you just pitch, and you're ready for it, and that's how you get things done. That's it. There is no magic, Mike, if you want to
Sure.
put it that way. No
Sure.
magic done. It's all about networking. So just wanted to say that, but thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll put a little link if anybody needs to meet and have a conversation. Okay.
Thank you, my man.
I'll hang out for a while until I gotta head out.
Thanks. I think we're on here probably for another 20 minutes or so, but thank
Cool.
you.
Yep.
All right, Morgan Miller. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, what's up? Hey, my name's Morgan Miller. I mean, I'll keep it brief. I don't want to take a bunch of time. I'm a comedian, writer, actor, jack of all trades. I've been doing stand-up and improv for 13 years. I've been writing in sketch groups for that long too, and had a movie that was with a production company that was gonna go from development to distribution. And it got dropped, unfortunately, by not on any other circumstances than what happens in the biz. But I'm looking to make a movie, so it's good to hear from the last person and get funding. I have 2 features, one written, it's a horror comedy, but it's the focus is that it's actually a horror film and actually a comedy. And it's something that I don't think's been done before. It's Blair Witch Project meets a Christopher Guest mockumentary, and I want you on the edge of your seat, not knowing if you're gonna laugh or if you're gonna get scared. It's great.
Okay.
It was all the way set to go, and now I'm just looking for some other place to let it live. And then I have a TV pilot that's called How to Stay Out of a Mental Hospital. And that is something I'm also trying to pitch around. It was with another company. It's been with a bunch. My main focus in most of my work is to get queer voices elevated and also bring awareness to mental illness and addiction, and do it in a comedic way. And I'm super passionate about those projects. That TV show is Broad City Meets Euphoria. So a lot of projects going on. And then I'm I'm looking to get those sold and made, and I have a lot of faith that they're gonna rock and roll. The pilot that I wrote got won at Series Fest, the pitch doc, so that's cool. And if you want to check out any of my stuff, I've written 2 short films, bunch of web series, been in the comedy business for a long time, and been a writer for a long time as well. So I'll put all of that in my my website and my email if anybody is interested in funding some fun projects that are greater than just a project. My horror comedies also brings a lot of light to the queer community. And I'd like to have all queer casts and writers, and so I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm UCB born, stand-up raised, so and been writing for a really long time. So thanks so much.
Appreciate that, Morgan Miller.
I'm also in Los Angeles.
All right, I see your info in the chat. Hopefully we can make some connections. Thank you so much for joining us, Morgan. All right, going to Justin Giroux. What's up, Justin? He is unmuted. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man? First off, let me say thank you for this, and it's cool to finally meet you, man. I know I ain't got a chance to meet you in person, man, but all those film festivals that I've won, and I appreciate you, man, a whole lot.
Oh man, you've rocked it. I think you had an interview with Zayami, my assistant director.
Yeah, man, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
very good to meet
cool,
you.
Man.
Yeah, good to meet you, my friend.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, this is cool stuff you're doing. I like to tell you that, man.
Thank you.
I'm a screenwriter out of Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. I'm right at over 40 full-length screenplays, a couple of shorts. I haven't directed anything. I haven't got behind the camera yet. You know what I'm saying? What's going on now is pretty much leading me to that point. So once I level out my writing with the skills I learned behind the camera, I should be a monster.
Right.
I was currently in pre-production talks for 3 of my scripts. All 3 of them different. My Russian mob story, Scout of Moscow, my HBCU-based romantic comedy is actually a trilogy. The first one is called Computer Love, and the third story is my LA-based woman drama / slick comedy, LA Woman. Like it was inspired by the Doors album and song of the same title.
Okay.
I'm actually looking, you know what I'm saying, to offer my services, screenwriting. I'm good at pitch decks. I'm good at synopses, log lines, talent wish lists. And also I am looking for representation. I guess you can say, literary agent, some along those lines. So yeah, outside of that, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. It's cool to hear all these different stories and seeing people all from across the world, not just the country, man. It's all about it like I am. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, for real. There's connections to be made. I know it's still quite a drive, but Atlanta, it'd be good to see you down there at one of the events. I mean, we even had someone come on and say they were looking to represent people, in the future. So you never know. I gotta admit, I mean, we had some great screenwriters on here earlier, Mark Gundy and some other people. Man, you got range. There's sometimes I can't even tell it's the same dude. I'm like, look
I appreciate that, man. Yeah,
because you have sci-fi, you have action. You have such a range of things that you.
I love so much. Like, I'm saying, my thing is I've never been big on musicals because I don't like the idea of going from dialogue to singing and dancing.
Sure.
But I grew up to, the remake of Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis, and I still got a thing for the original Grease because Olivia Newton-John was like one of the prettiest women I ever seen. So,
For sure.
I slick, respect musicals and theater, but I'm a visual guy. I'm a movie guy. I grew up to everything. John Carpenter, John Woo, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Spike Lee, naturally, Oliver Stone. These are the guys that influenced me, wanted me to get on the pen and get behind the camera.
Sure. Well, excellent to know your story. Are you so you looking for some representation? You looking for a production company, perhaps? Are you at that stage
Yes,
yet?
production company, literary agent. I'm looking for everything because, what I'm finding is when it comes to pre-production, it comes down to the budget list, and the more I do my research, man, those things cost, and I think that's like the stumbling block for me right now. So in terms of anything else, I'm just looking for representation to kind of help me wing through that, whether it is production company, literary agent, or whatnot. So yeah.
All right.
And I'm looking for, to be a part of, a set and work. I'm open to collaboration. I'm open to, being with a production company. Like everybody said, like I'm a free agent. I'm out here.
All right. Appreciate you, Justin.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. We're going to go on to the next one. We're going to go. Is Mooski back? Oop, I just lowered Mooski's hand.
Yes, sir. I am back. I was in another meeting for work. So
no worries.
Yeah, my name is Musa. I'm based in Atlanta.
Musa.
I'm 35 years old. I don't have a ton of whole ton of experience, but I'm looking to maybe capitalize on maybe like some like the the South Asian representation in acting and on media. But I'm pretty much open to anything, but I'm willing to work, with anybody out there, just kind of get my foot in the door. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. I don't want to take up too much time, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Are you an actor, you said?
Yes, I have a little bit of experience, but I just I kind of got busy with work, and I kind of want to get back into it.
Okay. All right. Well, being in Atlanta, I've been talking about it all day. Hopefully we can see you down there one day at one of our festivals. And I know Sunita was on here earlier, and she's got some productions that focus on the South Asian market. So maybe we can make some connections.
Definitely, for sure. Looking forward to it.
All right, my man. Thank you for checking in.
Thanks.
Oswan, how are you? Are you here?
Hello. How's it
Hey,
going?
Oswan. How's it going?
Hi, good to meet you, Michael.
Yeah, good to
thank
meet you.
for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem.
My name is Oswan. I'm a writer, director, actor from Los Angeles. My last short film, Farmer Ed, is going to be playing at Austin Houston Comedy Film Festival.
Awesome film, man. Awesome
And
film.
thank you so much. It's kind of like a weird horror comedy. I think there was a
Morgan.
reference to Little Shop of Horrors. It's kind of like that. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a Eraserhead. It's weird. It's about a guy who finds a brain in his backyard, and hides it from his wife. But yeah. So right now I'm working on writing a short film that is about this skater kid who purchases a vinyl, and it's a very rare vinyl, and the seller realizes how much it's worth, and he sells it to him, but then he wants it back. So it's kind of a crime comedy, crazy night in LA sort of thing. I'm also from LA, so I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, that's what I'm working on. I don't want to waste anyone's time. You guys have been here for so long. I'm looking for cast and crew. I act. If you guys want to connect with me, I'll send my website. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you. Good job on this. Farmer Ed is dope, man. I mean, this is really cool. It's
Appreciate
really
that.
cool. So we're looking forward to the screening just next month. But thank you for taking the time today, and glad you put your info in the chat. Glad you rated to the end.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good stuff. All right, we got one more person, Corey. Corey's
Hello.
got his hand up. I'm sorry to make you wait all the way to this time, but man, it's been so good today. We've had so many good people.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got some work done. I got to listen to some really cool stories and some really cool people. So thanks for everybody for hanging on this long, and thank you, Michael, for putting this on. This is just fantastic. It really is. So
no problem.
I'll be brief. I'm a writer, director. I started in film years ago as a sound engineer, and I sort of opened horror theme parks and became a director of operations. And so sooner or later, I realized that, directing is sort of a thing I could do, and started Horror Web Productions, which is an Austin-based production company. We've been putting out films and been doing quite well. The team has probably tripled in the last year. So
Wow.
very, very excited to say that, Austin's a great community, film community, and our team is just so talented, and they're just really passionate, creative people. And so they definitely sort of present themselves in our products. And so we're really happy. What we're really looking for at this point, of me as the owner of Horror Web Productions, as director of the films, is really just looking for, at this point, we're sort of moving into a phase where we're looking at legalities of things. We have a feature that we're finishing up principal photography on in the next couple months. And then we're moving into another feature next year. So we have a chronology of features planned sort of in our work path there. And so we're starting to get to the point where that type of representation or that type of legal consult is needed. Also, funding is always a big thing. And so so those are the two things that our team and myself are actually sort of reaching out and looking for. So yeah, that's it pretty much. I don't want to take up too much time. People have been on here forever. So
Oh, good. And you're quite the accomplished, right? You're being humble right now. You've come through Austin After Dark, and you've had your productions. I mean, you've done great with us.
yeah, I was very fortunate to have received Best Director. So I was so proud of that. It's on my wall over here. And
Awesome.
and then we have our first film won over 40 or so international awards. And that's really just a testament to the productivity and the grit and the creativity of our team, which at the time was pretty small, and now it's, like I said, it's really grown. And so we're just thrilled to be a part once again of your festivals, and to have this opportunity to network with people. So
All right. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you at a future event, and love seeing your team grow and your successes. It's obvious to anyone who watches your productions, you put a lot of time into it, very high quality stuff. And hey, we just appreciate you, especially being an Austin filmmaker. We appreciate it. All right. Have a good one. Jill, you're our last hand that I see.
I know. I'm sorry. I misread it and thought it started at 1 Pacific time. So that's
No
why I
worries.
came on really late. Anyway, just wanted to introduce myself. Jill Shagru. I'm an actor. I've been doing it about 12 years. The last short film I was in did really well in the film festival circuit. I
Yes,
was a
it did.
finalist, right, in the Oregon short film. And I won the Atlanta Women's Film Festival Best Actress Award. So that
Wow.
was very gratifying.
Yeah, Caroline's Festival. That's awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, sorry I showed up so late, but what I did get to experience is great. I really appreciate it.
No worries. We're going to put the, I'm going to save the chat and try to make a document out of it. We're going to put the whole video on YouTube so people can see and catch up. And if you're doing something else, listen in the background and see if you can make connections. What kind of connections are you looking to make?
Me?
Yep.
Anybody who's looking for an older actress or an older actor, comedy, drama, I love it all.
Where are you based?
Commercial, you need voiceover. I'm in the Portland area.
All right, in the Portland area.
Oregon, yeah.
Excellent. So Portland, Oregon area, and looking for acting connections and voiceover work. And are you
Yes.
coming to the festival this weekend?
No, I got family issues this weekend, so
All
actually no,
right.
and I'm filming this weekend, so.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, if you ever want to come down to one of our festivals again, we have our social networking. We do like a designated coffee now at noon to start the festival. So if you ever want to come down to this one, or we do Oregon Short Film Festival 4 times a year now. So we look forward to seeing you at a future event. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jill. Was there anyone else here? We got a group of great people here hanging out. Anyone want to chime in? Any last words? Anything you forgot to put in before we wrap up? I see.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
Hey, I also joined it late thinking it started at 1 p.m. Pacific time.
No worries.
I'm Caleb. It's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, I have a film in the upcoming Oregon Documentary Film Festival.
Yes.
Dealt with some DCP issues with you, which I appreciate your help
no
with.
problem. It's, go through that process the first time. It's like, what am I doing? Why isn't this just a simple export? But you know what? I'm glad that you're with us, and we're going to show your film and its high resolution glory. All right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. So are you looking to make any connections? Where are you based?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm based in Portland, and I am graduating college in a few weeks here, and I am primarily passionate about documentary filmmaking, primarily editing. So I'm kind of really passionate about pursuing documentary editing gigs. So that's kind of what I've been doing, just freelance here and there, and I'm just looking to make as many connections as I can in that world, and hopefully keep pursuing it.
Good stuff. Where are you graduating from Portland State? Is that where you go?
I go to Oregon State. I've
Oregon
just been doing it online.
Okay. All right, my man. Well, if you have time, please stop by the festival this weekend. We have the Oregon Short Film Festival. You're
sweet.
invited. Yeah, email me. There's a couple people that change their travel plans and offer to give their tickets to anyone who'd like to attend. So if you have time on Sunday, even if it's just for a little while, we'd love you to stop by. Bring a friend.
Great. I'll look into it for sure. Thanks.
All right, my man.
Hey,
All
Michael.
right, we're gonna thank you for joining me, Caleb. We are gonna jump out of here. I appreciate everyone's time. Sorry it went over time, but it's been an enthusiastic group, and like I said, I'll throw it on YouTube. We have another one coming up. I'll send you an email, and I hope I'm not too pushy about the emails. I'll just send out one more to tell you when our next networking event is in March on the 1st. Other than that, you can reach out to me at any time, michael.fair@filmfestivalcircuit.com. Thank you for making the time, and thank you for being here. Have a good one, everybody.